final time this summer, the DubSea Slingers are here at Mel Olson Stadium, and they're looking for a clean sweep of the weekend homestand. It would be their 4th win in a row. They take on the Everett Merchants for the 3rd time out of 4 this summer. Angus Strangmo and Kyle Sweeney coming to you from another lovely Sunday afternoon in White Center. And Kyle, last night, the Fish Sticks took down the Redmond Dudes 11-3, and Braden Bartholomew was just huge in that game.
He was. He started things off with a bang at the bottom of the 1st inning with a 3-run shot, his 5th of the season that extended his wide team lead in RBIs. He's got 32 after yesterday's game. He was 2 for 4 with 4 ribbies. And we highlighted Rylan Gullard as the stick of the game because he had 4 hits, but Braden Bartholomew's performance got things going early and often, and he has just hit so well in this homestand. Through 4 games, he's got 9 hits, including those 2 yesterday. So this is a guy that is just one piece of the puzzle for an offense that has really been figuring out in the last 3 games. They have 34 runs after an 11-3 victory in the last 3 games yesterday against the Redmond Dudes.
So now back to the Everett Merchants. These 2 teams played on Friday, and the Fish Sticks came out on top by a score of 9-5. This is a solid Merchants team. They've given the Fish Sticks a couple really good games this summer, including a heck of a game up in Everett last Monday where the Merchants walked off the Fish Sticks. The season series is 1 apiece right now, and with Cole Nupfer starting for the Seal Slingers today, I mean, I think we're in for probably another good one between these 2 squads.
We are. It was a 9-5 victory just 2 days ago on Friday night. A 5-run 3rd inning was the catapult towards victory for the Fish Sticks in that game. Beckett Turnbow was stick of the game for the 2nd straight time. We didn't see Turnbow in the lineup yesterday. He was a late scratch, but he's back in the lineup for this afternoon's game. So it was a 9-5 victory. They held, the pitching staff for the Fish Sticks held Everett to just 3 hits in that game. It was a pitching masterclass, and so Cole Nupfer is looking to do the same in the starting position tonight.
Final time we see the Seal Slingers this summer, they take on the Everett Merchants. First pitch on the other side of the break on the Fish Sticks Network.
For over 15 years, As You Wish Electric has offered the comprehensive electrical solutions Seattle families trust. We are proud to announce that we can now also serve your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs. As we grow, we are committed to delivering the same knowledgeable and friendly experience that earned our spot as the region's top-rated electrical company. Contact As You Wish Electric Plumbing, Heating, and Air today to learn more.
Fish Sticks and Merchants getting ready to go at Mel Olson Stadium on the final Seal Slinger Sunday of the summer. And we've got lineups ready to go, and Cole Nupfer getting the start for the Seal Slingers today.
He is. We saw him go an inning a couple of nights ago. But first, we got to introduce and honor some of the host families that host the players and a member of the broadcast booth as well.
Yeah, we had 5 host families in attendance today, including, in my humble opinion, the best one of all, Shelly and Chauncey Johnston, who have been hosting me, and Jake Rowling and Cole Nupfer this summer. There I am, looking,
fabulous.
Fabulous.
Got
as
the hat
always.
on.
Yeah.
Got the hat on today. Had to represent.
We went for a handshake there, didn't get it, but can't win them all. And there's Amy Cooper, who runs all the host family stuff here with the Seal Slingers, and they do such a good job with that and give so many players the chance to come spend their summer in Seattle. So that was a cool moment. And then we had the first fish right after that as well, and some pretty notable guys in the Friar today. The I-5 commuters, over 800,000 followers on Instagram. If you've ever seen a video of a guy just yelling at drivers on I-5, something we all want to do, it was probably these 2.
Yep, and there they go with the Rainier Chug. So Rainier, a proud sponsor of the Fish Sticks, of course. Got to do that before chucking the fish, and then we got a little wind up there, and then really good tosses. That was actually Beckett Turnbow who had to track back to make that catch. That is by far the best duo toss that we've had. Honestly, that might be the best toss we've seen, the most distance, and yeah, they were even kiss the fish. DubSea Frank always wants them to kiss the fish, and it never happens. Unfortunately, that was probably the closest we'll get. But there is Nupfer coming out of the bus, and he'll get the starting job.
So that takes us to the national anthem from Paul Klein, a very good friend of the broadcast.
Paul Klein, a throat cancer survivor.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Paul Klein gets things rolling at the Friar, and Cole Nupfer throwing for the Seal Slingers today. We saw him close out the game against the Everett Merchants. He went 1-2-3 in the 9th inning on Friday for a 9-5 win for the Fish Sticks, and today he gets the start.
Yeah, he had a great start on July 14th against the Port Angeles Lefties, a WCL opponent. He went 4 innings. First time he'd done that all year, allowed just 2 hits, 1 earned run, really had his game under control. And then he went 5 days later and faced off against the Studs, who won the PIL this year. They're such a solid team, and he got rocked around a little bit. It was 2 2/3 innings. He let up 5 hits and 6 earned runs and 2 walks in that one. And that one was a little bit like, okay, Cole Nupfer against the Studs, that is one that we've seen already this year. The Studs have taken advantage of the Fish Sticks pitching staff. So get-right game 2 days ago against the Merchants, and he did just that. 1 inning, as you mentioned. It was really quick work. 1-2-3 inning, including 2 strikeouts of the first 2 batters. So back again as the starting pitcher and trying to build that momentum that he had.
Lineup for the Everett Merchants. It's a bit of a new look from what we've seen from this team before. Dawson Sugawa leading off for Everett. Matthew McGovern is still in the lineup, but not in the leadoff spot. And then Jake Lockwood hitting second and Caden Christofferson hitting third. Then it's Dylan Jacobs in a cleanup spot. That's a guy to watch in this Merchants lineup. He had a homer on Friday, the last time these two teams met. Then Luka Ruljanicic hitting fifth, and Blake Skinner hitting sixth and playing shortstop. Then it is the speedy Matthew McGovern in the 7-hole DHing today. And then Billy Cooey hitting eighth, and Gavin German hitting ninth. They'll have Cooper McBride starting on the mound in the bottom of the first inning. We are ready to go here on a wonderful Sunday afternoon at the Friar, and the Seal Slingers looking for their 4th win in as many days here at home.
Yeah, it's been an offensive explosion in the last 3 games. 34 runs, as we mentioned in the opening, over the past 3 stints. But right now, the pitching staff is pitching as good as it has all year. So Nupfer wanting to continue that here tonight.
Starts off Sugawa and the game with a ball inside. Sugawa out in right field today. And I mentioned it in that lineup, but Matthew McGovern is DHing. We've become accustomed to him taking at least some spot in the outfield just with the blazing speed he has, but he's getting the day off from his fielding duties, which might help out the Seal Slingers.
It definitely will, and Christofferson back in center, he's not a bad option either, but he did make a mistake, a pretty costly one, in that game 2 days ago, and McGovern was probably one of the plays of the year in center field out in Everett the last time these two teams met up there. So interesting to not see him in the outfield.
Sugawa from Everett Community College, grew up in Honolulu, Hawaii. 1-2, he chases it outside. The lefty Nupfer just fools him with the off-speed and already has a K today.
Yeah, the 2 strikeouts he had a couple days ago were on the lower part of the zone and going right back to that same spot. A really good-looking off-speed and a great start for Nupfer.
So here's Jake Lockwood catching today for the Merchants. We've seen Max Rodabaugh start behind the plate in the first 2 meetings. Lockwood came into both of the first 2 games as well as a pinch hitter. That has popped to the moon, and Beckett Turnbow at second for the first time today. Ranges to his left, then back to his right, and eventually makes the play for out number 2.
Yeah, usually we'd see Turnbow at third and Alex Hamada at second base, but those roles are flipped. And Hamada made his second start at third base in yesterday's game and made probably the play of the year over there to save a run. So he's back at third base, and Turnbow, who's usually on the left side of the infield either as a shortstop or a third baseman, is at second.
First pitch to Caden Christofferson outside for ball 1. Christofferson walked off the Fish Sticks in the first meeting of the season. Just a whale of a game. The Merchants won 6-5 up at Funko Field. 1-0 is fouled back.
Yeah, Christofferson mirrors the speed that Matthew McGovern has, and he stole a base the last time these two teams met 2 days ago. He was also 1 for 3 with an RBI single in that one, and as you mentioned, up in Everett, the first time these two teams met, he was the hero with the walk-off single as a line drive to left field in the bottom of the 9th.
That's down low from Nupfer for ball 2, and already a K for Cole Nupfer in this game, but the control has been his pitfall, his main pitfall at least, this summer. 24 Ks, but 18 walks as well in 19 innings.
High strikeout guy. He's got really good stuff.
2-1 is down, and it gets by Evan Hellner behind the plate. We saw Hellner at first base a couple times in this homestand. He takes his place behind the dish for the first time this weekend. He'll be hitting cleanup today.
You saw JT Hardy a couple of days ago at first, and then Evan Hellner at first. Now Braden Bartholomew, the mainstay at first base, is at his normal post today.
3-1 is just a few steps down for ball 4, so the first base run of the game for the Merchants is on via walk, and the Merchants forced double-digit free passes from this Fish Sticks pitching staff in both of the first 2 meetings. And like you said, they only had 3 hits on Friday, but they had plenty of base runners. They ended up with 5 runs in that game.
And a couple of errors in the infield for the Fish Sticks as well, as this is looking like a pickoff.
Beautiful pickoff move from Nupfer, and they've got Christofferson beat at second base. So after giving up a base runner, Cole Nupfer instantly takes him off the base pass, and the top of the first is done. We'll get another look at this. A huge lead for Christofferson, and the lefty Nupfer catches him sleeping.
Wendy's went back to the kitchen to give our famous spicy chicken sandwich a total upgrade. More crunch, more flavor, with heat that just hits. Is this our best spicy chicken ever? Looks like a yes to me. Spicy chicken just got better at Wendy's.
They always say, think happy thoughts. It's easy when you're a Wendy's Cookie Dough Frosty Fusion. I'm an instant dopamine hit. Get it? Dopamine? Like cookie dough. I said like cookie dough! Happiness is a Cookie Dough Frosty Fusion at Wendy's.
For over 15 years, As You Wish Electric has offered the comprehensive electrical solutions Seattle families trust. We are proud to announce that we can now also serve your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs. As we grow, we are committed to delivering the same knowledgeable and friendly experience that earned our spot as the region's top-rated electrical company. Contact As You Wish Electric Plumbing, Heating, and Air today to learn more.
The Orca is back in the fryer, and that is basically a guarantee for some chaos in today's game. We've got Crispy just chasing him around right now, but Cole Nupfer chases Caden Christofferson off the base pass with a pickoff move that ends the top of the first. He went 1-2-3 in the 9th on Friday, and then a makeshift 1-2-3 inning in the top of the first today.
Yeah, after that walk, it was a really good comeback to know that Christofferson, with a lot of speed, is going to take off early in that count. And nice lefty pickoff move, and nicely done by everyone involved with Bartholomew throwing him out.
Lineup for the Seal Slingers today. Rylan Gullard leading off. He's walking to the box right now. He's in center field. Then Will Cooley hitting second and in left, and Braden Bartholomew at first base hitting third. Then Evan Hellner in the cleanup spot. JT Hardy returns to the lineup this weekend. He's DHing, and then Noah Kung hitting 6th at short. Then it's Beckett Turnbow, who's just having a nuclear homestand, hitting 7th. Jackson Dule, first start in over 2 weeks for him. He's hitting 8th and in right field. And then Alex Hamada back in the 9-hole after hitting 2nd yesterday and having a good game up there. First pitch to Gullard, he offers and is fouled off.
Heck of a game last night for Rylan Gullard. 4 for 6, including an RBI triple back in the 5th inning. He was our stick of the game and really had been struggling. He was 0 for his last 7 going into his last at-bat against this Merchants team a couple of days ago, and then really ripped off a great game yesterday.
1-0 is up. 4-1 to Gully. He's hitting .323 on the year and hit .329 at Linfield this past spring. He's driven in 24 runs, primarily in the leadoff spot, and he's second in the team in runs batted in. Kind of just speaks to how he's been able to perform at the dish. 1-1, that's a nice offering from Cooper McBride, a pitcher that the Fish Sticks had not seen before today.
Yeah, McBride coming over from UW. Had some fantastic splits at Everett Community College before that.
1-2 coming to Gullard, and that's down in the turf. 4-2. Gullard and Bartholomew have been mainstays at the top of the lineup for the Seal Slingers all summer, but that 2 spot has kind of been a revolving door. We saw Gavin George at the beginning of the year, and then we saw Jake Rolling, but now Mark Lynn and staff just trying stuff out, and it's Will Cooley today, which I think we both like. Had a 3-hit game yesterday as Gullard is rung up on strikes. That is a beautiful pitch from Cooper McBride for the first out.
Yeah, Gullard doesn't strike out very often, and usually in that position I say, okay, well with 2 strikes maybe you got to protect the plate. That one was low and away and might have been a little far away, but grace for the umpire for Cooper McBride on that strikeout. That's a great start against a guy who is smoking hot right now in Rylan Gullard.
So now here's the future Zag, Will Cooley. Again, 3-hit game for him against the Redmond Dudes last night in the 9-hole, and he moves up into the 2 spot today.
Go Zags.
Go Zags from Kyle. It's number 60 on the year. Cooley, another new addition to this roster, and he's got another hit right here. That's going to get down right in front of Luka Ruljanicic out in left field. Will Cooley is swinging the stick right now.
Yeah, reminiscent of his 3 singles yesterday, all just hard-hit line drives. He sprayed it to all parts of the outfield. That one was a little inside, but caught it just above the fat part, or the knob of the bat, and was able to push it to the left side. That's why Will Cooley's been able to get off to a hot start, is because he's able to push it to all parts of the field.
So that brings up Braden Bartholomew. 4 RBI last night, as Cooley might be picked off. Ooh, just in safely. Good move from the lefty McBride, and Cooley just slipped on the way through. That is close, but I do think he beat the tag back. Bartholomew loves to swing at the first pitch. We'll see if he does that here. He's got the lefty on righty matchup as well. First pitch, he swings. It's a base hit opposite field. Cooley is going to stay at second for the time being. Ball got away from the right fielder Dawson Sugawa for a second there. Wasn't a great read from Cooley. He'll stay at second base, won't take any risks. 2 runners on for Evan Hellner.
It's another great piece of hitting from Braden Bartholomew. You kind of mentioned it, but the left on right matchup is such an advantage for Bartholomew, especially because Bartholomew loves to offer at the first pitch. So he knows that fastball is coming from the lefty Cooper McBride. He gets it on the outside part of the zone and pushes it right in between the first and second baseman. Looked like the hit he had yesterday against the Redmond Dudes, but he stays hot. Now 2 are on for Hellner.
Hellner has hit something of a cold spell, at least for him, in the past couple of games. A 3-run double last night, but that is his only hit in the past 2 games. He watches ball 1 down and in.
Yeah, averages dip below 300 for really the first time since the very beginning of the summer. It's right at 299, but he has been such a great hitter for this team all season long.
Infield for the Merchants shifted to the right side, which we see on Hellner quite often at this point of the summer. And Hellner ahead 2 balls, no strikes. Already 2 hits in this inning for the Seal Slingers. Both base hits from Will Cooley and Braden Bartholomew. 2-0 comes to Hellner. That is a big cut and a miss. A hitter's count, and Hellner tried to put the Seal Slingers on the board with that one.
Yeah, he was sitting on that fastball and he got it, and he just completely pulled his his lead arm, his right arm through that one. I think he was thinking too much on that swing.
Hellner's still ahead, 2 balls and 1 strike against Cooper McBride. That's another heater. That's a hot shot, and it's mishandled out there by the shortstop, Blake Skinner. Cooley's got the wave around third, and the Seal Slingers are on the board first.
That's going to be labeled as a hit, but definitely a mistake at shortstop from Skinner, but that was just laced by Evan Hellner. Another one that went the opposite way, and it was a nice job by Will Cooley, whether he meant it or not, to go in front and run straight in front of that ball to block the view for Skinner. And then good heads up by head coach Mark Lynn, who saw that Skinner lost the ball, and he sent Cooley. So already a run here in the bottom of the first.
So that brings up JT Hardy. Still runners on second and first, and 1 down for the Slingers as Hardy check swings 1 foul to start his first at-bat of the day. Hardy's debut for this team was just Thursday against the Redmond Dudes. He ended up driving in 3 runs in a 14-6 win.
All 3 hits, because that was scored as a hit, have been to the opposite side for the Fish Sticks, or the Seal Slingers, here in the first.
0-1 to Hardy, and he leaves it be. Appeal's going to be unsuccessful, and it is. So it's ball 1 to Hardy from Tacoma Community College, teammates with Vaughn Lowe down there for the Titans. Noah Kung on deck, and then Beckett Turnbow right after him. The Merchants know all too well how good Turnbow is swinging the stick right now. Went 3 for 3 against Everett on Friday. 1-1, that is zipped in for strike 2.
Yeah, JT Hardy is one to sell balls and strikes. You can see almost every pitch, his body is moving some way in the box, and especially on balls inside, he's going to really try to sell it to get that ball call on the inside part of the plate.
1-2 coming to Hardy. Another heater, and he stays alive. That's fouled back. Good hustle from Noah Kung to go get that one.
Yeah, Beckett Turnbow in the hole. He has reached base the last 8 times he has been to the plate. He didn't play in yesterday's game. Again, a late scratch, but 2 straight Sticks of the Game awards for him in his last 2 games that he's played.
Count still 1-2 to JT Hardy. We've seen him work quite a few really impressive ABs that ended up in free passes already this week. As there's another 2-strike foul off, and everyone groans as that's out toward their automobile. That one was danger.
Yeah, that I didn't hear. I can't really hear that well, but that it didn't sound like there was a maybe a Safe Light auto repair car that was going to come out in the middle of the game, which we have seen before at the Friar.
Another 1-2 coming to JT Hardy. Bartholomew on second and Hellner on first. And Hardy misses that one. Cooper McBride wins the battle, and there's 2 gone in the first.
Yeah, McBride had lofted in a few off-speed pitches before that to try to throw Hardy off balance. That time he just goes with the straight gas right at the knees, and Hardy can't get a hold of it. So 2 gone here now for Noah Kung.
Kung hitting 286 on the summer. He's driven in 9. OPS of 776. First pitch to him is an off-speed that almost curls back into the zone through the front door, but misses for ball 1.
Kung, one of the best contact hitters that the Seal Slingers have on their team, and he has been really masterful at hitting hard ground balls just to the perfect spot in the infield. Another one here would score Bartholomew.
That is fouled off, but hit hard from Kung. For strike 1. 3 hits here in the first inning for the Seal Slingers, all singles. And Evan Hellner's base hit brought home Will Cooley for the first run of the game.
Now Cooley's been aboard his last 5 times at the plate, going back to yesterday.
1-1 coming to Noah Kung. Also is the left on right matchup. On Cooper McBride, and another base hit for the Slingers in the first. Bartholomew turns around third. The throw is not in time. Now Hellner's hung up between second and third base. Can't juke the tag, and he's out, but the run will score. And it's 2-0 Slingers. I think Hellner just lost his footing trying to get back to the bag. But another base hit from Noah Kung this summer, and that one drives in a run.
Yeah, Bartholomew's got a lot of speed. He was hustling over, and it was a really good heads-up play from the Everett infield to catch that. Evan Hellner was just kind of caught in no man's land, looking at where that ball was going to go. I think he was going to break if the ball wasn't cut off and was going to the catcher. But nonetheless, Noah Kuhn, a great piece of hitting, and after 3 runs in the first inning yesterday for the Sticks, they put up 2 here in the bottom of the first as the Seal Slingers.
So both the top half and the bottom half of the first innings end in outs on the base paths. And it's time for the tug of war. Josiah feeling himself today, as usual, our on-field host. Looks like right side's got quite the advantage with that flag.
And they do.
Yeah.
No eating contest today. None of that going on.
Thank goodness.
We do have Dick's Single Burgers, courtesy of David Moody, who is just one of the best guys, father of Hawthorne Moody. We love to shout him out. I think this is the first time we've shouted him out on the broadcast.
Yeah, I don't know how that is.
I don't know, but amazing guy. He provided us with some Dick's Burgers today so we could have a makeshift eating contest if it really got to that point, which, by the way, I did say, cheeseburgers is something that I'm pretty sure I could beat anyone at this stadium in an eating contest, so maybe we'll fit that in between inning. I would hate to eat something live on the broadcast, especially fast.
And especially with our replay crew as well.
Yeah.
They will hold that against you forever.
Maybe between innings. If I know the camera's on me and I'm like, okay, I'm going to wolf this down as fast as I can, it would be better so that we don't get the live ASMR in the microphone.
They can mute us in there.
They could. That is true. That is true.
Because no one wants to listen.
Absolutely no one does. And that's one of my biggest pet peeves, too, is people that chew loudly or with their mouth open. Ugh.
So here's Dylan Jacobs. He was at the plate when Caden Christofferson was picked off at first base by Cole Nutfer. First pitch to Jacobs is outside. Dylan Jacobs, a great day on Friday here at the Friar, highlighted by a solo shot to dead center field that Ryland Gord had no chance at out there at the wall.
Deepest part of the field, and it cleared it by a good 10, 20 feet. And Jacobs was fantastic last year at Edmonds Community College, and 49 games played, he belted 7 home runs and hit 270. So just a really big power guy, and he's up to the cleanup spot tonight.
2-0, that misses for ball 3. Another heater from Nutfer. Did give up a walk in that first inning, but didn't even need another pitch to pick him off at first base. 3-0, and can't find the zone to Dylan Jacobs, so a 4-pitch walk, and that'll bring up Luka Ruljanicic, and we need to have a chat. We are running out of time on the first team All-Namers. And as there is a mound visit going down for the Seal Slingers, Luka Ruljanicic.
Ruljanicic, yeah.
Excuse me. I am going to have to bring this up. I think I'm going to call a vote.
I really like it. I think because I don't think we talked about it in Everett the first time we saw him. We didn't see him 2 days ago at the Friar, but it was just such a mouthful at first that we couldn't even get it to a vote because I was... Ruljanicic is a tough one. But even the Luka, too, it's a great name. And
I say yes.
I say yes as well.
Sweet.
Wow, look at that. Round of applause.
Before he even watches a pitch, he's on the first team All-Name team.
Love that.
Today. Dylan Jacobs on first after a 4-pitch walk. Pretty big lead for Jacobs over at first, especially after Caden Christofferson was picked off in the first inning. And Ruljanicic watches strike 1 go by.
Well, Janicic was in left field the last time these two teams, or the last time he played in a meeting between these two teams back on July 13th.
Even better, he's a RMAC guy from Metro State in Denver.
Wow. First Metro State mention of the year, too.
1-1 coming from Nutfer. Another fastball, and that's in there for strike 2. That is a really nice pitch when it's finding the zone.
That's where he's been living in the last 2 outings against this Everett team, has been low in the zone. He goes fastball there. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes to the off speed in that same spot.
1-2 count to Ruljanicic, and he chases up high. Second strikeout of the day for Cole Knupfer, and one gone in the second.
Knupfer shook off a couple of pitches before that, and I think maybe Evan Hellner and the coaching staff was thinking what I was thinking about going low with the off speed, but Knupfer completely goes the opposite direction of that, and it was a great decision because Ruljanicic was sitting on that fastball high.
First pitch fastball to Blake Skinner. Misses out for ball one. Skinner started in the first meeting up in Everett and then didn't play on Friday against the Fish Sticks. Now he's in the lineup against the Seal Slingers. Another big lead for Dylan Jacobs, but he stays put, and it's in there for strike one to Skinner.
Do you know what Metro State's mascot is?
I'm afraid I don't. The Mets?
No, the Roadrunners.
Really? That's sweet.
Yep.
That is sweet. 1-1, blooped down the right field line and into the fishing dock foul. So Knupfer ahead 1-2.
Great job by Knupfer after the leadoff 4-pitch walk to strike out Ruljanicic and now be ahead in the count 1-2 against Skinner.
This would be his third strikeout of the day and 5 outs. If he does sling in strike three, he'll check on Jacobs before that.
Also, congratulations to Luka Ruljanicic.
Yeah.
7th member now of our all-name team. We got 2 more spots left.
We're running out of time, I'll be honest.
We are running out of time.
1-2 coming to Blake Skinner, and another pickoff throw. That one gets away, and that's going to give Dylan Jacobs a bag. He will get to second base on a throwing error from Knupfer.
Jacobs has been taking a healthy lead all at bat, and usually when Knupfer would just deliver pitches, he would take one step back to first base. So I'm not really sure that he was thinking about stealing second, but Knupfer, second straight pickoff, that time gets away from Bartholomew.
Still 1-2 at the plate to Blake Skinner, and Skinner stays alive on a fastball.
Yeah, struck out Ruljanicic on a fastball that was up high, probably above the zone.
Matthew McGovern on deck for the Merchants. As the 1-2 is into left field, Cooley ranging in, and he makes the catch. Hit on a line, but right at Cooley out in left field.
Yeah, we've seen Will Cooley make 3 really good catches at the wall where he's crashing into the wall. That time he finally shows off the range and comes in towards shortstop, and that was hit towards the end of the bat, and that had a chance to get down, but Cooley with the grab, and now the very speedy Matthew McGovern up with 2 gone and a runner in scoring position.
McGovern can fly. Think Chandler Simpson for the Tampa Bay Rays. He's the Chandler Simpson of the PIL, hitting 7th today and DHing. 2 down, runner on second for the Merchants, and McGovern fouls that off for strike 1. We talked about it before the game, but he's not exactly a hitter that is going to launch one over the fence. It's just all he needs usually is just a high chopper in the infield or a base hit that sneaks through. And then once he's on the base paths, he is so fun to watch.
Yeah, had a couple stolen bases 2 days ago, and then also forced a throwing error from behind the dish where he scored from second base.
A 1-2 him is upstairs for ball 1. Billy Cooey on deck for the Merchants. There's our crowd here at the Friar. A pretty solid showing for Seal Slinger Sunday. Our final one of the year, unfortunately.
Seal Slingers and the Fish Sticks, the 2 names where it came down to a vote when the name changed from the Highline Bears.
1-1, that's a good lead from McGovern for ball 2. And every time I see him, it gets me again. If he and Stephon Diggs trade places for a day, no one would notice.
Jacoby Myers, I would still rather have than
Yeah.
Stephon Diggs. Had that discussion a couple days ago.
Man, though, it's uncanny, really. 2-1 on the way, and Hellner is all over that. Up and out for ball 3. So McGovern with a walk, obviously dangerous on the bases, but with the lead runner, Dylan Jacobs, you almost have some sort of lid on what he can do on the base pass.
A little bit, yeah, definitely. And I just took my first really good look. That he looks a lot like Stephon Diggs.
He does. It's insane. Well, he's on first base with a walk. That's the third walk of the day for Nutfer. And Everett kind of just doing the same thing they did on Friday. They don't have a hit in this game, but they've got 3 base runners.
Yeah, it's not the worst walk in the world. It now puts a force out on the base paths for Nutfer with 2 gone, but this is kind of what we talked about a little bit with his struggle issues. He strikes out so many, but the walks have been the issue this year.
Billy Cooey watches a strike go by. Start his first plate appearance of the day. Gavin German on deck for the Merchants. This is another guy that has been in the top of the lineup pretty consistently this summer and finds himself in the bottom of the lineup. He's hitting 9th today and playing second base, usually a primary shortstop. 0-1 is bounced off the plate by Cooey. Tough play for Nutfer. He's in foul ground, and the throw is in time. Incredible defense from Cole Nutfer. Pitchers are athletes too. Merchants held scoreless in the second. Let's take another look.
Boy, remember that play from Kyle Freeland? That is so signature. That was really impressive on that replay. Long throw over to first to end the top of the second.
For over 15 years, As You Wish Electric has offered the comprehensive electrical solutions Seattle families trust. We are proud to announce that we can now also serve your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs. As we grow, we are committed to delivering the same knowledgeable and friendly experience that earned our spot as the region's top-rated electrical company. Contact As You Wish Electric Plumbing, Heating, and Air today to learn more.
Once upon a home, in a Seattle bungalow, the Huffs searched on Thumbtack to find their next pro. Now the job is all done, and the table is set. The hot dogs taste better on their fancy new deck. Start your home story on Thumbtack.
Plush ball toss going down at the Friar. We got one today. Jaden Palacios got a plush ball all the way up to the broadcast table in the top row. Of course, we did not keep it because we work here, and that would not be a good look for us. But Jaden Palacios, really nice throw.
It was a great throw.
2-0 Seal Slingers as we head into the bottom of the second, and Kyle did pull up that Kyle Freeland play he was talking about. But here's Cole Nutfer doing his best Kyle Freeland impression. I mean, fading away in foul ground down the third base line. That is a heck of a throw.
And in that situation, too, that would have loaded the bases going to Gavin German, who has had success at the plate at least the first game that these two teams met. So that was a huge play to keep the Merchants at zeros on the scoreboard. And now Beckett Turnbow up to the plate, and this means trouble for the Merchants.
Beckett Turnbow, Jackson Dulé, and Alex Amata due up for the Slingers, 7-8-9. And Turnbow, I mean, what can we say that we haven't already about his weekend? He drove in 4 against this team on Friday, was stick of the game. There's also a home run involved in that game. That was a solo shot to left center.
Yeah, it was 3 for 3 with 3 runs on Friday, and then the game before against the Dudes, he drove in 4 on 2 doubles. So has yet to be retired in the last 8 times he's been to the plate.
There's a look at our Seal Slingers merch here at the Friday. The last time you can buy any Seal Slingers merch here at Mel Olson Stadium this summer.
Tragedy. Those baby blues are they're so sweet.
1-1 to Turnbow, and it's another strike from McBride. So Turnbow behind 1-2.
Of course, it was put to a vote between the Fish Sticks and the Seal Slingers. The Fish Sticks won with a 50.4% majority. That's how close it was.
Razor thin.
So to honor the Slingers, what never was, they put on the jerseys every Sunday.
1-2 to Turnbow, uncompetitive for ball 2. I wish I knew that vote was going down when I was 14 years old in Stevensville, Montana.
Yeah.
I had no idea how important that vote would be at one point in my life. Counts even to Beckett Turnbow. 2-2 from McBride is swung on a miss. So for the first time this weekend, Beckett Turnbow is sent to the dugout. And that'll bring up Jackson Dulé, his first start since Thursday, July 9th against the Seattle Studs. And he had a hit last night in a pinch hit situation, but it is good to see him back in the lineup.
Yeah, it was kind of a bloop single to shallow right field, but sometimes that's all it takes to get all the momentum back that you need.
With yesterday, he's hitting .255, OPS of 811. He's driven in 5 runs this year. He had a series against the Washington A's where he went to the plate 10 times and he was walked 6 of them.
And getting on base is really good for Dulé, who has top-tier speed on this team.
He's ahead 2-0 right here with Alex Hamada on deck. Hamada had a double opposite field. We don't see him go oppo a whole lot, and it was a hard hit ball. I turned into extra bases yesterday. 2-0, big cut from Dulé, and it's strike 1. We saw Evan Hellner do the same thing on a 2-0 count.
A hitter's count, back when I played, I didn't usually swing on 2-0, but when you know and you're sitting on that fastball, especially low in the zone, which is where Dulé loves to go down and get baseballs, I don't hate that swing.
There's a chase down low from Dulé for strike 2. And Cooper McBride, not his best work in the first inning, but a good bounce back so far. He strikes out the blazing hot Beckett Turnbow and now works to 2 strikes on Dulé. Two comes home, and it's another strikeout in the second for Cooper McBride.
Living low again. And Dulé strikes out on that, essentially the same pitch that struck out Beckett Turnbow, and 2 straight strikeouts after allowing 2 runs in the bottom half of the first. That's a great comeback from McBride.
That's now 4 Ks in the game for Cooper McBride. Every out that has been recorded on a batter has been a strikeout for McBride. The only other out was Evan Hellner just tripping and falling in between second and third base. As Alex Hamada comes up for the first time, and strike 1 whizzes by him. Hamada playing third for back-to-back days.
He's had a nice homestand. Again, batting second yesterday, ripped his first extra base hit of the year the opposite way, like you mentioned.
He takes that foul, and look out over in the Seal Slingers dugout. McBride ahead 0-2, looking to strike out the side in order.
Hey, Hamada had an interesting game 2 days ago against the Merchants. He was 1 for 1 with a hit and a run, but he also walked, was hit by a pitch, and had a sac bunt.
Behind 0-2 on McBride, and easy watch for him in an 0-2 count. 4-1. Rylan Gullard on deck, one of the 4 guys to be sat down on strikes today for the Seal Slingers. Gullard 4 for 6 yesterday, and had a hit in the last meeting between the Merchants and the Slingers. Hamada back to a 2-2 count. We've seen him work out of 0-2 holes quite a bit this summer.
Yeah, including yesterday. He worked multiple counts back to full when he was behind 0-2, one of which turned into a walk and one of which he grounded out, but has been really much more disciplined at the plate.
2-2, that skips by for ball 3, so Hamada now finds himself in a full count, and a walk would put a runner on for Rylan Gullard. With 2 down, Gullard 0 for 1. But 4 for 6 yesterday against the Dudes, and obviously dangerous at any time. He's hitting above 320 this summer. Payoff pitch, did Hamada go around? He did, throw on to first. Is easy pickings, and Cooper McBride strikes out the side in the bottom of the second inning. Seal Slingers still out in front, 2-0.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see whether he did go. So first it was Turnbow and then Dulé, both on the fastball, and then in a 3-2 count. Ooh, that's close, but I think he did go. So a myriad of ways in which McBride got those 3 strikeouts, but now, like you said, 5 strikeouts. That's all the outs that have been recorded by hitters and not on the base paths. So, wow, look at that worm.
That means you've got a 1,000 BABIP. So flop like a fish. Something that we were all expecting to see.
Yeah.
Here at the end of the second inning, and no one's really moving in a straight line today.
No.
One's going to go see Mark Lynn in the dugout, and one is trying to go backwards, which is bold, and it looks like backwards has been – that's arms. I mean, I think the backwards worm was just not the right strategy right there.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. Flop around like a fish. Instead, both of them went to the worm.
It makes sense. I mean, if you've got to move around with no arms and supposedly no legs, that's probably the best way to do it. And you can't roll either.
Although I am incredibly jealous of fish's ability to breathe underwater.
Yeah.
I think that would be the coolest thing ever. I think if I could have one superpower, it would be that. So, would you trade your arms for gills? I probably
would. I trade
wouldn't.
my arms for gills? No.
You got little flappers?
No.
Breathing underwater.
Do they
would
have
be the coolest
Chipotle
thing.
underwater? Yeah, didn't think so.
If they had Underwater Panda Express and Chick-fil-A, then I would actually really consider it.
Gavin German leads off the third, and Knupfer starts him out with a strike. Merchants stranded 2 in the second. And it's German, Sugawa, and Jake Lockwood. 9-1-2 set to go for the Merchants in the third. Close miss for Knupfer for ball 1.
He's got 3 walks and 2 strikeouts today. Ended the second inning with a fantastic play on a ball that dribbled off the plate, and he threw it from foul territory.
That one's right back at him. He loses his glove. It doesn't matter. Oh, my goodness. What a day Cole Knupfer is having in the field.
So right as we were talking about what happened last inning, he takes this one, loses his glove, and recovers with no glove and fires to first base. And if he doesn't stop that, that more than likely gets through the middle of the infield. So 2 straight plays that will increase his defensive WAR for sure, because those are game-changing plays. D-WAR.
D-WAR, something I'm sure Cole Knupfer's very worried about. Dawson Sugawa now up. He takes a ride on the first pitch. It's back at the corner, and it's caught by Jackson Dule. Dule is such a good fielder out there in the outfield, and he has been sorely missed with the glove, and back like he never left on that one.
Yeah, he's tall at 6'3" and also speedy, and ran into the wall late there, but Sugawa gave that a good ride on the first pitch. And this outfield is really good defensively. We got Cooley in left and Rylan Gullard, who's been such a stick in center field, and then Dule back in the lineup.
Knupfer working well in the third. He's got 2 outs on 4 pitches, and his 5th pitch of the inning is a strike to Jake Lockwood. Lockwood popped out to Beckett Turnbow at second base first time up. That's way out, ball 1.
Really good, quick first 2 outs, although they were kind of loud outs in a way. Hard ground ball up the middle that Knupfer took himself, and then a deep fly out, but much more efficient than that second inning.
That's a chase up high from Lockwood for strike 2, and that high fastball's gotten a couple chases out of the Merchants. Jake Lockwood is a victim right there.
They struck out Roll Janicic on that same pitch in a 1-2 count.
1-2 again right here to Jake Lockwood. Knupfer gets a chase, and it's barely fouled off. Probably a gift. And Lockwood got a bat on that because it was all the way back at the backstop. It would have been a tough play on the drop third strike.
Still no hits allowed by Cole Knupfer today, but has run into trouble with those walks.
Another 1-2 on the way. And that is just kind of hooked into the turf. It looks like the home plate ump takes a shot. He'll go get it himself. Lockwood from Central Washington out in Ellensburg, hails from Seattle.
Thought Chicago was windy, or the Windy City. Go to Ellensburg, Washington.
You'll see more turbines there than anywhere else, it seems. That's popped up and over the first base seating here at the Friar, and Lockwood stays alive in a 2-2 count. I get the sense that you did not like Ellensburg that much.
No, it was fine. It was just windy. I certainly won't golf in Ellensburg anytime soon.
2-2 comes from Knupfer. Lockwood puts a barrel on that, and finally a hard hit ball that gets down for the Everett Merchants in the third. Another 2-out base runner for this team as well. That is the 3rd straight inning they put a runner on with 2 gone.
Yeah, good piece of hitting after Knupfer tried to fool him with a couple of off speeds low. And Nupfer's elevated velocity fastball, he gets up to 89. He's an incoming freshman going to St. Mary's. That will certainly improve, but Lockwood teed that one up.
So here's Caden Christofferson. That's down low for ball one to Christofferson. Walked first time up and then didn't even get to see a pitch when he was on first base. He was picked off instantly. Now for starting him off with a ball, and the 1-0 popped into center field. Rylan Gullard makes this play in his sleep. And that is out number 3. So 3 scoreless frames for Cole Nupfer on Seal Slinger Sunday. DubSea out in front 2-0. And just some great stuff on the defensive side from Nupfer.
You ever wonder how Crispy gets to the fryer for games? He uses King County Metro's Rapid Ride H-Line. King County Metro, the official commute of your DubSea Fish Sticks.
Once upon a home in the Issaquah Highlands, the Parkers used Thumbtack for a new kitchen island. Now the pizza is cooking and the kids are excited. Thank goodness for Thumbtack and all it provided. Start your home story on Thumbtack.
Still 2-0 Seal Slingers here in the middle of the third inning, and Cole Nupfer, some great stuff on the mound. He goes 3 scoreless innings and 2 web gems with the glove. One he didn't even need a glove for.
Yeah, that was, again, mentioned Kyle Freeland. But aside from those 2 fantastic plays in the field, he has been commanding his stuff. Did run into a bit of walk trouble in the second inning, but that third inning was really clean, besides a hit from Jake Lockwood. But Nupfer, high strikeout guy. Did strike out 2, but 43 pitches through 3 innings so far, allowed just 1 hit, no earned runs. And it's looking a lot like the stuff that we expect to see next year and what we saw at St. John Bosco High School last year. They won the California State Championship and were the 4th-ranked team in the entire country.
Back to the top of the lineup card for the Slingers. Rylan Gullard 0 for 1 on the day, and then Will Cooley and Braden Bartholomew, who both had base hits their first time up. Gullard goes after the first pitch, softly grounded over to second base, and Gavin German makes the routine play for the first out. That'll bring up Will Cooley, who has kind of fallen into the background with the days that guys like Becca Turnbow and Rylan Gullard have had in this homestand, but he has been as good in this homestand.
He has, and mentioned it the last time, or when he scored back in the first inning, but he's been on base each of the last 5 times, 4 hits and a walk, going back to his second at-bat yesterday. So really been turning on the heat, just hitting line drives to the outfield.
Came around to score in the first inning. He goes after the first pitch. It's into right field, and it's off the wall. Stand-up double for Will Cooley. He's already got 2 hits today.
Man, and picking up right where he left off last at-bat, wastes no time on the first pitch. Sitting on that fastball, goes right off the Future Primitive Brewing Company sign. That one looked like it had a chance to get out, but man, now 5 hits in his last 6 plate appearances, and the other one was a walk. So talk about a scorcher that Will Cooley is on, and go Zags.
So here's Braden Bartholomew. A base hit back in the first inning that he took opposite field on the first pitch. Don't be surprised if he goes after the first pitch here again. That time he leaves it, and it is nicely placed from Cooper McBride. For strike number 1. McBride 5 Ks in the first 2 innings, and then a ground out, which was the first non-K out of a batter in this game for the Merchants. And then Will Cooley's just had his number to this point. A 1 to Bartholomew, run in, and almost hit Fuego, but it's ball 1.
Yeah, Bartholomew was leaning towards his front foot. He really wanted to maybe take a hack at that first pitch, but it was on the outside corner. And went inside with the fastball there. So trying to fool and keep Braden Bartholomew off balance a little bit right now.
Bartholomew stays on balance right there and spits on the off speed. 4-2. Evan Hellner on deck. He's driven in a run in this game already. 2-0 Slingers, 2-1 the count to Braden Bartholomew. Will Cooley on second base after his second hit of the day. It's another off speed and another miss for McBride for ball 3. We haven't seen a walk or a free pass of any kind for that matter from Cooper McBride all day to go along with 5 Ks. So he's lived in the zone, but to this point, 5 hits for the Slingers as well. 3-1, Bartholomew goes after it. Looks like it'll be another ball to Gavin German and another 4-3 ground out for the Slingers in the third. Cooley does advance to third.
Yeah, nicely done by McBride to retire Gollard and Bartholomew, 2 of the hottest bats on this team. Will Cooley will advance to third base with 2 outs. It's not the biggest 90 feet, but now any ball in the outfield, no doubt, scores a run for Evan Hellner, who has already had an RBI single in today's game.
First pitch to Hellner, bounces off the plate. 4-1. Pretty good speed from Cooley. We've seen it more so in left field on the defensive side than on the base pass, but a pass ball could possibly score him from third. Hellner with that hit now back up above 300 for the summer average. He's ahead 2-0 here.
Yeah, showed off his power in just the third game of the summer and sent a ball about 380 feet up at Edmonds Community College. But has been a big singles guy, just hard hit balls to the outfield, a lot like Cooley.
Another 2-0 swing from Hellner, second one of the day, and that time he gets a piece of it and fouls it back. So the parallels between his 2 plate appearances are strong so far. He watched 2 balls to start, and then a swing on 2-0, worked into a 2-1 count. If the pattern stays consistent, this should be an RBI base hit. 2-1 on the way, and it's just a ball, so
just a bit upstairs.
Maybe McBride knew.
Yeah.
I'm sure he was thinking about that.
And you mentioned that McGovern looks like Stephon Diggs. There is a Caleb Williams lookalike right behind the booth that our behind-the-scenes crew is in. If we can somehow get a shot of him.
It's like if you put together Caleb Williams and Roma Dunze.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's in a white shirt right behind the booth. He looks exactly like Caleb Williams. I was actually going to say there's no way we have Caleb Williams in the
I don't think
stadium
Caleb
today.
Williams is here. I'll just come out and say it.
He's got his back turned to the camera right now, but if we can, yeah, that's crazy. 2-star football player. There he is.
Yeah, it's like if you put Caleb Williams and Roma Dunze together.
That is Caleb Williams.
It does look like Caleb Williams. Wow. Payoff pitch coming to Hellner, the lefty, from McBride. On the way and down and out. Evan Hellner on base for the second time today. That time with a walk, and that's the first walk issued by Cooper McBride this afternoon.
Yeah, that was a great at-bat from Hellner to foul off a couple of pitches and then force the walk, and now JT Hardy up. By the way, great job by our behind-the-scenes crew to get that camera shot, but JT Hardy now an opportunity to extend this lead and get back to where he started in his first game as a stick.
Runners on the corners, 2 down for Hardy. We have seen Hellner steal a few bases this summer. He'll stay put here as Hardy watches strike 1. Hardy struck out first time up in the first inning. Two runs on 5 hits already for the Slingers today. Both runs came in the first. Now Hellner breaks on the hit and run, and Hardy fouls it back. So the TCC Titan behind 0-2.
Hellner wasn't running too hard towards second base, and he's trying to force that throw from behind the plate from Lockwood and then try to get into a pickle so that Cooley could score from third before he's tagged out, which would be a run, and we've seen that multiple times already this summer. I wouldn't be shocked if that happened again here.
Now Hellner is just not even trying to hide it.
Cooley's going to run.
Got to go at some point. Looks like they might be okay with Hellner just going back to first, and they will.
Wow.
What a weird thing to happen at a baseball game.
But it's exactly for the reason that I just mentioned. Hellner was begging McBride to try to pick him off so that Cooley could go to home, and then he could just get tagged out and get the run in. But really heads up baseball from Blake Skinner to recognize that and just force Evan Hellner to go back to first.
So that'll force JT Hardy's hand here in an 0-2 count. Hellner stays at first base. Hardy pops that up into shallow left. Ranging to his right and making the play is Luka Ruljanicic. And Cooper McBride escapes the third unscathed. It's still 2-0 DubSea heading into the fourth.
We've seen crazier things happen in Merchants and Fish Sticks games, so by absolutely no means is Everett out of this ball game, but Cole Nupfer is going to come out for another inning of work as the Fisherman race is being set up.
I'm guessing the outfits are probably still a little big out there, so
they got the jumpsuits out today. Yeah, they're gonna be pretty big.
not the greatest start out of the gates for either competitor. Jackson, our mobile cam operator, is just so good at this.
Is Connor Lee filming or is he scrolling? That's the big question.
He's definitely scrolling, no question about it.
He gets the DubSea Deluxe's jersey today. That's such a cool jersey.
So now the net is on his head. This is an interesting strategy. He's using the hands to hold up the jumpsuit and then just put the fishing net on his head, which is pretty smart, and it's going to pay off. He needs to run through the actual finish line, and that was a heads-up play in the fisherman race.
It was, and I just think we need to get, oh dear, as the second contestant trips over the orange jumpsuit, they just don't fit. That's part of the race, as the second guy is going to come in and there you go.
There you go.
Didn't step on the foul line. There we go, the unwritten rule. There's the ice chest. Looks like a great time.
Not as many people there as we've seen in the past couple of nights, but still a good crowd. A really good crowd on hand here for Seal Slinger Sunday.
It is a Sunday afternoon. Not going to see it as crowded as $3 Thursday for sure. By the way, last $3 Thursday, this Thursday. It's such a sad one, I know.
So here's Cole Nupfer again. He started this game. He's gone 3 scoreless to this point, only given up a single hit, and his first pitch hits Dylan Jacobs. So Jacobs, a 4-pitch walk first time up, and this time he only sees one. It hits him in the ankle. And he's on base for the second time.
Yeah, Jacobs went yard 2 days ago against this team and now has just the freest of free bases that you can have in the first 2 at-bats. So he's back at first, and Ruljanicic now to the plate.
Ruljanicic goes after the first pitch and pops it foul. Was a strikeout victim swinging first time up. Crispy looks like he's doing some negotiating over there. Another big lead for Dylan Jacobs. We saw him doing this last time up. It turned into a pickoff attempt that got by Brain Bartholomew, and that one made Bartholomew work for it as well.
Yeah, again, Jacobs is trying to throw off Nupfer here, as Nupfer has a clear view of him. It would be surprising if he actually did take off. Usually he takes 1 step back before going to a secondary lead.
Nupfer's got every reason to focus on the plate here. He's ahead 0-2 on Ruljanicic. Blake Skinner on deck. Hard contact from Skinner first time up. Turned into a line out to Will Cooley in left, and Nupfer will check on Jacobs again. Clearly no intentions of going to second base over there.
Yeah, I think Bartholomew pointed the glove and just said, hey, go towards the batter. I would rather you just do that.
Oh-2, that's called strike 3. Ruljanicic is sat down for the second time today.
Great pitch, just right on the outside corner, right at the knees. That's such a tough one to go after. In a 2-strike count, obviously you're looking for those kind of pitches, but that's just the best location for a left on right matchup like Nupfer against Ruljanicic to put that fastball in that spot.
Now Skinner shows bunt, and it is a beauty. That's a bunt single for Blake Skinner. That just finds no man's land out on the right side of the infield.
Yeah, that was the best possible place you could put it. Knupfer was going to go over to first to try to cover, but then Beckett Turnbow at second base was going towards second. And again, that is not Beckett Turnbow's normal position at second base. I think he got confused on the bunt coverage and was supposed to go cover first or even go get that ground ball and sling it over to Bartholomew. So new positions and 2 base runners on now for McGovern.
Matthew McGovern fouls off the first pitch. McGovern worked a walk first time up, and haven't seen him on the bases really with free rein yet, but we saw it on Friday, and it turned into a run. First run of the game for the Merchants in that one. Stole second base on a play where he was picked off at first, and then did the same thing heading over to third. Throw got away, and he was into home with ease.
Yeah, he was at second base, and JT Hardy, who was behind the plate, tried to kind of backpick him at second, but instead McGovern saw that and just ran to third, and then the throw got by Alex Hamada at second, and he took off for home. It was really high IQ base running.
1-1 coming from Knupfer. Jacobs moving to third. Ball's in the dirt, and Jacobs is safe. A pitch that stays up there, and Evan Hellner had a very good chance at getting Jacobs at third, but now 2 runners in scoring position.
Yeah, the Slingers infield. There we go. There's Connor Lee. And
he's off his phone.
There we go. That's not quite the frat flick, but we'll take it. But the Seal Slingers have had real issues holding base runners on. That is now the 3rd time in this homestand that runners have stole second and third on a double steal, and that is not something that usually occurs.
Both of the first 2 instances were spearheaded by Lucas Coma taking third base. 2 1s in there for strike 2, and this is, not only would it be a big out, it's a necessary out, really, if Knupfer wants to stay scoreless on the day. Kung moves in at short, 2-2, lined into center field, and it gets down in front of Gullard. Jacobs will score. Skinner cruises into third. Matthew McGovern drives in a run.
Yeah, and that's where the double steal comes around to kill you. That likely would not have scored Dylan Jacobs because Rylan Gullard was coming in. It almost looked like it was going to be a fly out, so that runner would have stayed at second base in all likelihood. And because the Slingers couldn't hold on the base runners and a double steal was executed, that ended up scoring a run.
Merchant still threatening here as McGovern breaks for second. They've got him picked off, and he's safe. Oh, he slides off the bag. Wow. That's the only way you can get Matthew McGovern on the base paths. Almost recreated what he did on Friday in the 3rd inning and had the throw beat by a mile, but just slides a little too far.
Yeah, McGovern did that both times he was on base on Friday. He immediately took off on the first pitch, and he is by far the speediest guy we've seen, fish stick or opposing team. And in a 1st and 3rd scenario,
now Cooey launches the ball to left center. Gullard up at the wall, and he rolls through a catch for the 3rd out. Seal Slingers still in front, but it took some hard work from Cole Knupfer and the Seal Slingers defense. Billy Cooey almost gave the Merchants the lead with 1 swing, but Rylan Gullard all over it. Seal Slingers out in front.
Oh, sweet. Thanks, Crispy.
For over 15 years, As You Wish Electric has offered the comprehensive electrical solutions Seattle families trust. We are proud to announce that we can now also serve your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs. As we grow, we are committed to delivering the same knowledgeable and friendly experience that earned our spot as the region's top-rated electrical company. Contact As You Wish Electric, Plumbing, Heating, and Air today to learn more.
Everett pulls one back in the top of the fourth, courtesy of a base hit from Matthew McGovern. Seal Slingers still out in front, 2-1 heading into the bottom of the fourth inning, and Noah Kung is going to lead off here in the bottom of the fourth for the Seal Slingers. And I've got some advanced stats in front of me for Noah Kung. He's only played 2 games in the Seal Slingers uniforms, but he's 4 for 5 with 2 singles and 2 doubles. Yeah, that's good for an OPS of 2.033 in the Baby Blues.
And
he's already driven in a run today as well. So making a case for maybe the greatest Seal Slinger of all time.
I mean, the Seal Slingers jerseys are just amazing. And as Vitipka will now come in to replace Cooper McBride, who had a heck of an outing, albeit those 2 runs in the first, and a high strikeout guy. He ended his outing with 5 strikeouts in 3 innings, and really one of his earned runs, of 2 of which came in the bottom of the first inning, was pretty debatable. It was a tough play from Blake Skinner at short on a line drive from Evan Hellner that really could have been called a hit or an error. So really only 1 earned run, and now Vitipka, a right-hander, is going to come in for the lefty McBride.
Kung watches ball 1 go by, and like I said, there's just something about Noah Kung when he puts on the Seal Slingers uniform. He's 5 for 6 this summer in Sunday home games. 3 singles and 2 doubles. And his RBI earlier in this one, the first run he's driven in those 5 hits.
The Rainiers flying in. Look at that. What a transaction. In the Baby Blues, too.
That one hits Kung. He is so good at that. He gets hit by so many pitches for this team.
He's up to double digits now.
He's up to double digits, a team lead with 10. That's his 4th game in a row that he's been beanballed.
Now he's on base for another time in a Seal Slinger uniform. 6 of 7 plate appearances he's been on. Making a great case for greatest slinger of all time.
Of course, it's not in illustrious history by any means, but he has been good on Sundays, and he's on first right now for Beckett Turnbow. Turnbow struck out first time up.
This week marked 50 days until the NFL is back.
Nice.
Nice.
Let's go.
Sundays are so much better from the months of September to February.
What are you thinking about the 49ers this year? Because they're in a weird spot. Obviously, you've got the Seahawks and the Rams in the division. Those are going to be 2 of probably the 3 best teams in football.
Right.
But the Niners, still a very talented roster and can do something. It's just going to be tough to operate in that division, as Kung might have had second base, but he just tumbles trying to change direction, and he'll have to stay at first.
Well, the IR curse has now reached our very good head coach, as there's another look at Noah Kung, who was in a pretty serious car wreck and is not going to be available at the beginning.
Kyle Shanahan was, not Noah Kung.
Yeah, Kyle Shanahan. And, how? What is happening to this team? I don't know what this curse is that is on the franchise, as that was another close play on a pickoff, but Noah Kung gets back safely. But otherwise, I mean, I like the outlook. I really do. I think Brock Purdy is going to lead the league in passing yards this year. That is my prediction. Mike Evans is not going to hurt his hamstring.
Oh, wow.
That's my other bold prediction.
Kung broke, and Turnbow with the hit and run on just had to get something on that. It was way up high, and good on Turnbow to not set up Kung for failure at second base. With a high pitch like that, it already just brings Jake Lockwood up, and he probably had Kung beat at second base if Turnbow doesn't foul that off.
Yeah, check swing on a hit and run scenario worked out beautifully. Like you said, that was an essential pickoff move as another pickoff. Noah Kung saying that's 3 in a row.
So the third disengagement of the at-bat takes Noah Kung to second base. Really good heads-up call from Kung and the Seal Slingers. And now a runner in scoring position. Noah Kung He just does it all on Sundays.
He does.
Man.
It's a different gear that he gets into. He recognizes that was the third disengagement, like you said, and he knew it right away.
Even if he was recorded out on that pickoff move, it wouldn't have mattered. 2-1 to Turnbow, 0 for 1 on the day, and that's up high for ball 3.
Yeah, strikeout his first time up, snapped 8 straight appearances at the plate where he reached base, and looking to force another walk. He's forced 3 walks in his last 2 games.
Only 1 walk in 3 innings issued by Cooper McBride, and now Votipka, a ball away from his second free pass and his first walk, and that one misses in to Beckett Turnbow. He's on base for the first time today. Relays some info to Jackson Dulé, and that'll bring runners on second and first, nobody out for Dulé.
There's another advertisement. You could be a host family next year. Again, host families are such a big reason that people are able to come in from all areas of the country and play for the Fish Sticks or even broadcast for the Fish Sticks.
It's the reason I'm here, really.
Yeah.
It was the last puzzle piece that needed to fall into place for me to come over here for the summer is where I was staying. And Shelly and Chauncey have just been amazing. They've treated me and Jake and Cole with such kindness. Like I'm not sure I've ever met kinder people than Shelly and Chauncey and their entire family. And it's been a blessing to spend the summer in Seattle, and I get to come watch baseball every day.
It's great.
That's
and
amazing.
Broadcast it.
And I'm in Seattle while I do it. It's just
Seattle's such an amazing city. And Harrison from behind the scenes just told us that the third disengagement is a balk unless the runner is put out. So it's essentially a gamble.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know if Votipka knew that.
Dulé knows he's got a base hit right there. Coon's going to stay at third base. And the Seal Slingers are going station to station in the fourth. First of all, thank you, Harrison, for clearing that up, because I had no idea that if he is out right there, he's out. But easy bag for him getting back. And now he's on third base. Nobody gone, and Alex Hamada coming up. Jackson Dulé. Obviously a small sample size in the past couple nights, but he's 2 for 3 since his return.
Yeah, and that was a really nice piece of hitting after striking out swinging his first time up. Goes back down low, which he loves to live in, and just ropes that to left field. Unfortunately, just too hard, and Noah Kuhn couldn't get around, so now the bases are loaded for Hamada.
Infield in for Everett. We saw a 5-run third for the Fish Sticks on Friday, and they had runners on the whole way through. And the infield was just so far in for the Merchants that entire inning, but they stick with their guns here as Hamada is way ahead for strike 1.
Yeah, he was sitting on that fastball and wanted all of it, and it was a changeup, it looked like, from Votipka that fooled him.
0-1, that's well placed for strike 2 on Hamada. He's behind 0-2 for the second straight at bat. He worked it to a full count last time up and then ended up striking out on a check swing. Bases loaded, nobody gone. It was a hit by pitch of Noah Kuhn, a walk of Beckett Turnbow, who's got a humongous lead, and then a base hit from Jackson Dulé. Hamada, that's grounded hard at Gavin German. He comes home, and they've got the out in time. Really nice play from Gavin German, and the infield in pays off for the Merchants. They've got 1 down in the fourth.
Yeah, that was really well done by German. That ball was laced right at him at second base. He collects it, makes sure he's got it, and then fires over to home plate, and Lockwood makes the put out. Nothing really Alex Hamada could do about that. He put his all into that baseball, just in the exact wrong spot. So now Gollard is up with the bases loaded again.
Gollard still looking for his first on base of the day. He's 0 for 2 with a strikeout looking and a ground out. First pitch he watches inside for ball 1 from Votipka. And Joel Votipka here in the fourth. A hit by pitch and a walk to start things, and then Jackson Dulé goes after the first pitch and turns it into a base hit, but a good response against Hamada to get ahead 0-2. You got to think Rylan Gollard's going to be pretty selective here regardless. Gollard takes the 0-1 for a ride into right field. He drives in Beckett Turnbow. Jackson Dulé thought about it, but he'll stay at third. More station-to-station baseball for the Seal Slingers. Rylan Gollard brings home a run, and it's 3-1 Slingers.
Such a nice piece of hitting from Rylan Gillard, back to his old ways with that single to the right side. And again, it was just hit too hard. And Jackson Dule, who has so much speed, rounding third base, couldn't get home. So now Will Cooley, who is in another galaxy right now at the plate, another opportunity as Gillard has his third RBI in the past 24 hours or so, going back to last night.
So here's Cooley, 2 for 2 with a single and a double. And first pitch misses for ball 1. 3 innings from Cooper McBride and 3 solid innings as well. He had a bumpy first where 2 runs came across, one of which maybe shouldn't go on him. And then after that, really good stuff. He struck out the side in the second, stranded a couple in the third. And Cooley, that's a hard ground ball, but it might be 2, 4, 6, 3 gets away. That's going to score not 1 but 2 runs. Dule scores on the fielder's choice, and Alex Amata comes across on the error. 5-1 Slingers. What a swing on that error, on the throwing error from Blake Skinner.
Yeah, there's a lot going on there. But Cooley will get to second base on that, and it's just like Alex Amata's line drive to second base. He hit the ball so well, it was just put in the wrong spot, and German makes another great play, but the throw not in time. Nicely done by Cooley to advance to second base, and now it's 5-1.
Still a runner in scoring position for the Slingers, and Braden Bartholomew, the team lead and runs batted in with 32. Cooley moving to third, throw, got him. Nice play from Jake Lockwood. The hit and run might have been on, and Braden Bartholomew swung and missed. Really nice play from Lockwood behind the dish, and a good tag from Jacobs ends the fourth, but 3 more runs for the Slingers, and they are in control. It's 5-1 DubSea.
Yeah, Colton Upfer is going to walk back out for his now 5th inning of work. He went 4 innings in Port Angeles a couple of weeks ago. That was his longest outing of the year, and now going out for a 5th as here we go. Milo gets the inside track on, oh my goodness.
Oh, wow. Well, he's in the Byron Buxton jersey, and he runs like Byron Buxton. Oh, my gosh.
Oh, boy.
Crispy.
Back to the old ways.
So Crispy had won 7 in a row before right now. He gets gassed, and the Byron Buxton jersey is perfect for that guy.
Yeah, it really is. Man, 7 in a row for that moment. And then, so there is there's 2 mascots today, of course. There's the Orca and the Fish Stick. You gotta wonder which person is in which mascot, because that will play a difference.
It has come back to bite Crispy a couple of times this year, but boy, 7 in a row, and then Byron Buxton shows up and just gasses Crispy.
Blazes him.
Crispy back to 500. He's 11-11.
So here's another look at that stolen base, and boy, it looks like Cooley was in there unless there was a moment where both of his arms were off the bag. Here, he's definitely safe. Is there a moment? It looks like he holds on. That should have been called safe.
Great replay from our crew, and what a slide. I mean, hook slide, he sneaks in on the corner of the bag.
Keeps it on, too.
The question is if he kept that right hand on the bag, and it's hard to tell because Dylan Jacobs is in the way, but boy, that was an incredible slide, and doesn't get the call either way. Still 3 runs come across, and the Seal Slingers in control. It's 5-1 DubSea as we head into the 5th inning. Really good plyo stuff from Hawthorne Moody right there, and Cole Nupfer back out for the 5th. He's given up 1 run on 3 hits in this game. He's had control issues at some points, but he's stranded quite a few runners. Starts off the 5th with a swinging strike from Gavin German, who just had a good inning in the field.
Yeah, 4 innings pitched up to this point. 33 of his 55 pitches have been strikes, just 1 earned run and 3 Ks. Also a couple of just great plays in the field as a pitcher.
One in particular that ended the 2nd inning. He had to make a throw to first from foul ground down the third base line. He was nearly to the Merchants dugout and got Billy Cooey as German late to the party and fouls that off for strike through. Over towards Hawthorne Moody with the exercise balls.
An absolute plyometrics demon. There's Jackson refueling. Oh, man.
No one does it like Jackson.
He's the mobile camera guy just running everywhere.
DePaul University Club Pickleball
Yep.
president, Jackson.
Is he really the president?
I believe he is.
Wow.
German grounds that over to Alex Amata. Routine for the infield throw. It's a little wild, but Braden Bartholomew reaches out and snatches it for the first out of the fifth.
Now back to the top of the lineup card for the third time for Everett. This is where pitchers start to lose control a little bit because it's the third time that Everett has seen Cole Nupfer now, and the batting averages significantly rise statistically when hitters see them the second time compared to the third time. So we'll see how long of a leash Cole Nupfer gets. If he keeps being efficient, I think he'll get through the fifth inning.
Dawson Shugawa 0 for 2 in the leadoff spot today. And he goes after the first pitch. It's back to Hamada. Backhand. Boy, it looks natural. And the throw is off to the right side. Shugawa blows a tire, but he'll get second base anyway. That's a great play from Hamada, but the throw, he missed a little bit to the right on the put out of Gavin German, and that one just misses a little too far. That'll go down as an E5.
Yeah, another great play from Hamada, who made one of the best plays I've ever seen in the infield when he dove over towards the third base line yesterday, got up and fired out Adam Al-Harbi, but that time looking for two in a row, and just not used to that throw from the hot corner is Alex Hamada. Again, Hamada usually at second base, and Bartholomew tried to extend, but any ball that gets past him goes into the dugout and advances the base runner.
Inside to Jake Lockwood to start him off. Lockwood 1 for 2, a base hit back in the third. That was the first hit of the game for the Merchants. Off Cole Nupfer. Longest outing of the summer for Nupfer to this point. He's gone 4 1/3. Slings in a strike to Lockwood. 5 innings on a day where it's the fourth game in 4 days for the Seal Slingers, and you've got somewhat of a shortened bullpen today. 5 innings would be huge out of the St. Mary's Gale. That's almost strike 2, but instead it'll be ball 2.
Boy, just got a great ESPN notification as a Colorado Rockies fan. Mizurowski struck out the first 7 batters he faced.
On the Rockies?
Yep.
Yeah.
Which is, did I expect anything different? Probably not.
Well, here's the question. Was it at Coors?
Well, let's check.
Because you can't waste that ballpark on 7 strikeouts.
No, it was in Milwaukee.
Okay.
But still,
that's
like,
good.
that's not great. Go Rockies.
3-1 to Jake Lockwood. Fastball ripped right at Noah Kuhn. Glove flip, double play not turned. Ooh. That was crafty from Noah Kuhn on the glove flip after the line out from Lockwood. Lockwood put one over his head earlier in the third, and oh, that would have been so smooth.
So we saw Jake rolling a lot, and with an injury now he's been out. Noah Kuhn has taken complete control of shortstop, and he's looked really, really good at that position. There's another display. We saw him turn a double play on the same glove flip about a week ago.
2 down and a runner on second for Caden Christofferson. Drove in a runner from second base to walk off the Fish Sticks about 2 weeks ago in Everett. These two teams will face off once again in Everett on Tuesday, a couple days from now. Christofferson crossed the plane for strike 1.
Christofferson, a ton of speed. If he gets on base, he's going to take off on the first pitch he sees.
Dylan Jacobs on deck as well, so if you're Cole Nupfer, you want to go after Christofferson and not let this inning get to Jacobs in a cleanup spot. 1-1's outside, ball 2. Jacobs is 0 for 0 today. Still no official at-bats. He was walked on 4 pitches in the second and then hit by a pitch in the fourth. Christofferson at the very back of the box against Nupfer. 2-1 is fouled off.
You want more Miz statistics?
Oh, boy. Sure.
Yeah, not only did he strike out the first 7, he struck out 12 of the first 13.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's pretty bad.
Yeah.
I must admit. How many Ks did he finish with?
I think just those 12. It wasn't a long outing because in shocking fashion, the Rockies got absolutely obliterated in that game. So he only went 83 pitches, but that's pretty impressive stuff.
That's pretty nasty. Nuffer looking for a K of his own. That's into right field, but right at Rylan Gullard. And another great inning for Cole Nuffer. He goes 5 innings of 1-run ball at the Friar. And the Fish Sticks, the Seal Slingers, in full control right now. They're ahead 5-1 in the bottom of the 5th.
Wendy's went back to the kitchen to give our famous spicy chicken sandwich a total upgrade. More crunch, more flavor, with heat that just hits. Is this our best spicy chicken ever? Looks like a yes to me. Spicy chicken just got better at Wendy's.
They always say, think happy thoughts. It's easy when you're a Wendy's cookie dough frosty fusion. I'm an instant dopamine hit. Get it? Dopamine? Like cookie dough. I said like cookie dough. Happiness is a cookie dough frosty fusion at Wendy's.
Well, Zach Hampson's dad, Glenn Hampson, was just delivered a fresh Zeke's pizza for winning the Zeke's pizza delivery. It's basically just got to go crazy for pizza, and no one deserves it more than Glenn Hampson.
Yeah, but guess what he did in true Hampson fashion right after? Gives it to the people behind him. Now a whole family behind him gets pizza. They're all happy. And Zach Hampson and Glenn Hampson, just two great people. I mean, the Hampson family, awesome people, and they just proved it there again. There, look at him. He's delivering it to everyone. And there's David. There's David Moody.
Yeah.
There we go. First time on camera. We shouted him out earlier. And the Hampson-Moody connection, not just a baseball connection.
He's just going around the entire Friar and offering pizza. What a guy.
The Hampsons in a nutshell.
So Braden Bartholomew will lead off. Will Cooley tried to stretch into a steal of third base and was gunned down on a play where it looked like he might have been safe, but either way, he was called out, and Bartholomew was up for that. He now leads off the 5th. It's Bartholomew, Hellner, and Hardy. The heart of the order, 3, 4, 5, due up in the 5th. Bartholomew 1 for 2 on the evening, and that is down the third base line, fielded beautifully. Oh my goodness, Dylan Jacobs. Smooth as ever for out number 1.
Man, that robbed extra bases, too, on that sliding play from Jacobs. That looked a lot like what Alex Hamada did yesterday. He pops up and makes such a great throw right on the money. Over to Billy Coo. You take another look, diving, sprouts up, and man, that is about as on the money as you can get on a throw.
So 1 out for Joel Votipka. He gets a boost from his defense right there. His first pitch to Evan Hellner is shot right at Garrett DeGallier. 4 strike 1.
That could have been disaster for Garrett DeGallier over there at first base. That almost
He had to
clonked
move
him.
out of the way.
Yeah.
It was good reflexes from him over there. Fouled off to the pull side of Hellner on the right on left matchup. We saw lefty Cooper McBride start this game, and it's a pretty righty-heavy lineup. It has been all summer for the Seal Slingers.
Yeah, their offense is just churning right now. 34 runs the last 3 games, and now already 5 here in the first half of the ball game.
0-2 to Hellner, swung on and missed. It only takes 3 pitches for Joel Votipka to get his first strikeout of the day on Evan Hellner.
2 really quick outs with the heart of this order as JT Hardy is going to come up. This is exactly what Everett needs if they're going to have any chance of coming back in this ball game.
Hardy 0 for 2. struck out in the first and flew out in the third. Noah Kung on deck, adding to his already illustrious Seal Slingers career, and JT Hardy's got his first hit of the day. It is a line drive base hit, opposite field again for the Seal Slingers today.
Yeah, great piece of hitting from Hardy. That looked exactly like the hit he had the first time he was in a Fish Sticks uniform, except it was the opposite field, and it got down for a 2-run double. So good to see Hardy come back after struggling a little bit over the last about 1.5 games. But again, such a small sample size as a stick this summer.
So Noah Kung chops the first pitch over to Jacobs. He'll go on to first. And Jacobs finishes off the inning he started in the field. A rare out of Noah Kung in a Seal Slingers uniform ends the 5th inning in a scoreless frame for Joel Votipka.
Yeah, making quick work of a part of the lineup that has been so strong for the Slingers this homestand. And here we go. We've got the adult As You Wish ring toss. So they put plumbers on their heads like Among Us characters and then get the rings and throw it on them.
The people with the helmets on today are basically Among Us characters as well with those colors. We've got the cyan on the left side and then the pink on the right side.
They just kind of just take it. They just squat down there and take it.
That's what you have to do. You can't be moving around too much. I mean, not the greatest contest today.
No. Uh-oh. That's a clutch gene right there.
2-1. Oh, that's
3-1, man.
A low-scoring affair. Rings came at a premium in that one. Hawthorne Moody now on the mound for the Seal Slingers, and that finishes a great day for Cole Nutfer on the bump. He goes 5 innings, his longest outing of the summer, and only gives up a single run.
Yeah, longest outing, and it gave time for Hawthorne Moody to really warm up. We've seen a couple of times this summer where Hawthorne Moody has just been thrust into tight situations that he's gotten out of. And so he had a long time to do his plyometrics and get a long warm-up. So now he's on the mound, and a guy that we've seen on the mound so often, I mentioned that he's come in high-leverage situations, and he has dealt in those situations. 16 2/3 innings for Hawthorne Moody this year. He has 13 appearances on the season, no starts, so strictly a bullpen arm. 11 earned runs, 10 strikeouts. His ERA is elevated a little bit as of right now because of a couple of rough outings, but he has come in multiple times, and we talk about that game against the Blackfins where they walked it off. He came in, it was bases loaded in the top of the 10th inning, 3-pitch strikeout to end that inning and then give the Fish Sticks a walk-off win in the bottom half of that inning, and that's just kind of who he is. He comes in and works out of those clutch situations.
He's got a tough task to start today. It's Dylan Jacobs leading off an inning for the 3rd time today. He led off the 2nd with a walk. He led off the 4th with a hit by pitch. And now he leads off the 6th against Hawthorne Moody. Moody's first pitch, not a fastball, but it's up high. 4-1. Dylan Jacobs still hasn't seen a strike today in 6 tries.
Yeah, hit by a pitch first time up, or first pitch his last time up, and then a 4-pitch walk.
1-0 for Moody is down, and I mean, Jacobs went yard here at the Friar a couple nights ago, and you got to think the Seal Slingers just not giving him anything he wants to see today.
And this is fun because David Moody, who we mentioned on the broadcast, told us that Hawthorne Moody and Dylan Jacobs were teammates in youth baseball, as it looks like Jacobs gets the best of him there on the 2-0 count. So kind of a fun little tidbit there for guys who have played youth ball together.
Jacobs is having quite the weekend here at Mel Olson Stadium. He's reached base all 3 times today now. And another leadoff base runner in the form of Dylan Jacobs. That's the 3rd time he's done that today. Luka Ruljanicic now up, and I believe that isn't Luka Ruljanicic. That'll be the day for him. So Ruljanicic, first-team All-Namer, but 0 for 2 with a couple Ks. Not an ideal day at the plate for him. Instead, this will be Jason Champagne.
Great last name.
Ooh.
Jason Champagne. Wow. That's an interesting one there.
What do we have, 2 spots?
We do.
And we've got 4 games. As Champagne might line out and do a double play here. It's dug up by Bartholomew on the throw from Turnbow. Quickly 2 down in the 6th, and we'll have to come back to Jason Champagne at some point. That was hit hard, but just bad luck for the Merchants.
Yeah, and great heads-up play from Braden Bartholomew, too, on that one to see that Beckett Turnbow was going to catch it, as this one was hit on a line. And Turnbow knew exactly where he was going. Here's Bartholomew. He steps right back on first, and a nice pick. And he is one of the best defenders that the Fish Sticks have on this team, and it's because of heads-up plays like those.
Moody just misses. That was over the plate the whole way, and then just cuts outside for ball 1 to Blake Skinner. Skinner 1 for 2 with a base hit back in the 4th. He's ahead 2-0 on Moody right here.
And Jason Champagne is spelled like Jason Tatum, too.
Yeah.
It's not just a regular Jason.
And then Champaign, Illinois.
Wow.
That's the spelling, yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised you know Champaign, Illinois. I got cousins who live
where
there.
UIUC is.
Oh, that's true.
And
yeah.
I looked into that when I was looking at colleges. So.
Oh, that's fair. No, Champaign, that's where cousins on my mom's side live.
Wow.
So shout out Champaign. I guess that it's really not that niche of a city because
of the university.
U of I.
Yeah. 3-0 from Moody. That's a zone finder for strike 1. You're not going to see Hawthorne Moody walk a ton of people either. You're also not going to see him K many people either. He's got 10 Ks in 16 2/3. Through 1, that's popped up. Might stay in play for Evan Hellner, and that just goes off the rain cover. Hellner tried to almost rob a home run in foul territory right there, and he really didn't have a chance at it.
No, but it bounced off the sheet metal and right into Hawthorne Moody's glove.
That counts, right?
It should count. House rules at the Friar.
Full count to Blake Skinner. Haven't seen too many deep counts for the Merchants today. A byproduct of just how good Cole Nupfer was in his start. Here's the payoff from Hawthorne Moody. Comes set and comes home. Fastball up the middle. Long run for Kung, and he can't get there. Second hit up the middle of the inning for the Merchants.
Yeah, that was off the short end of the bat and just put right in the exact right place on the infield, past the diving Noah Kung. So now that double up and that pickoff at first becomes extremely important by Braden Bartholomew. If he doesn't get that pick, Jacobs would be at second base because he would advance because the ball would get into the dugout. And then in all likelihood on that hit, he would have come around to score.
So here's Matt McGovern. He drove in the run for the Merchants today, back in the 4th inning with a base hit that found a dead zone in shallow center. He's 1 for 1 with a single and a walk. Really talented ball player. Moody takes his time, and then the 1-0 in the turf. Skinner thought about it, but he'll stay at first.
Yeah, Moody did a great job of coming back from a 3-0 count his last time up, or his last at bat. Forced a 3-2 count, and then a fastball kind of over the heart of the plate was the reason that resulted in a single.
Behind 2-0 on McGovern, who's already been walked today. And he goes after it. That's an infield single. That might be trouble. It gets by Hamada. Now it's in foul ground. No one to cover. Good read by Noah Kuhn. Keeps Skinner at second, but that's just the speed of Matthew McGovern, making things difficult for the Slingers.
Yeah, I think that's going to maybe go down as an infield single. With McGovern's blazing speed, even if Hamada gets to that, there's absolutely no chance he guns him out at first base. But good heads-up play by Noah Kuhn to back that up.
That's a tough one, obviously, just because that's exactly what I was going to say, what Director Connor Ryan just brought to us.
I believe it grazed
his off
glove.
His glove,
yeah.
But if you're Alex Hamada, obviously McGovern is so fast, and there's weird bounces off the turf all the time here at the Friar. Is there any value to letting that go and maybe
absolutely.
It turning into a foul ball?
Yeah, we take another look. I just think he was kind of fooled, and I think it just grazed a part of that glove and kind of bounced weirdly. But I think you're absolutely right. McGovern was probably already at first base. So It would have been worth a shot to just see if that was going to tail foul.
Moody is ahead 0-1 on Billy Cooey. We've seen Cooey in some big spots already today and hasn't delivered in either. He's 0 for 2. That's a chop shot to Alex Amata. That time he makes the play. Hawthorne Moody keeps the Merchants on a donut in the 6th and picks up right where Cole Nutford left off. 5-1 Seal Slingers heading into the bottom of the 6th on the Fish Sticks Network.
Wendy's went back to the kitchen to give our famous spicy chicken sandwich a total upgrade. More crunch, more flavor, with heat that just hits. Is this our best spicy chicken ever? Looks like a yes to me. Spicy chicken just got better at Wendy's.
They always say, think happy thoughts. It's easy when you're a Wendy's Cookie Dough Frosty Fusion. I'm an instant dopamine hit. Get it? Dope-amine? Like cookie dough. I said like cookie dough! Happiness is a Cookie Dough Frosty Fusion at Wendy's.
Oh, Audrey, look over there.
Where? Oh, a whole herd of reindeer beers.
Not herds, Audrey. Reindeers come in 6-packs.
Oh,
Wake up, Harley.
Harley, look at the reindeers. Oh, they're just so fresh and friendly.
5-1 Seal Slingers, looking for their 4th win in a row here at the Friar. And in a week where the lineup has been so good, and they have been good again today, the pitching has been on another level for the Slingers today.
Yeah, Hawthorne Moody got out of a little bit of a jam there in the top half of this inning, and other than a RBI single back in the 4th off of Cole Nupfer, who was really good in his 5 innings of work, the pitching staff has paved way for this offense to, by their standards over the last 3 games, not have a great game, even though they've got 5 runs already across. But with a pitching staff that's dealing as much as they are this homestand, they can really finish off the season well and give such a streaking offense a great opportunity to just put games away before we even reach the 6th inning, like we've seen multiple times this homestand.
First pitch from Joel Votipka, who's back out for his 3rd inning, is just a wild one. Slips out of the hand for ball 1 to Turnbow. Turnbow was walked last time up in the 4th, ended up coming around to score on a base hit from Rylan Gillard. That's up high again for ball 2.
Strikeout and a walk for Beckett Turnbow today, and 9 of his last 10 plate appearances now, he has reached base.
2 to Turnbow again, up high. Turnbow maybe a little frustrated right now that he's just not getting the pitches he wants to see, especially with how he's been hitting this weekend. There hasn't been a ball that has been below his head in this plate appearance. 3-0 coming from Votipka. That one, a zone finder for strike 1.
That's almost one that Turnbow could have turned on there. And he had a home run in his last game against this team, and then the day before that he was 2 for 2 with 2 doubles and 4 RBIs. So using that momentum, he could have swung.
Swings at that one, it's popped up, and it looks like it will trail foul into the fishing dock, so we'll have a full count. Ooh, man. It looked like if Billy Cooey kind of just stood up against the net right there, he might have had a play at it, but quit on it a little too early. And count's full. Wow.
That, a little bit of stroke of luck there for Beckett Turnbow. Now back to a 3-2 count after he was ahead 3-0.
Payoff pitch coming from Votipka. Turnbow into left field, hard hit, but nice read out there in left from Jason Champagne, and he only takes a few steps back for out number 1.
Yeah, good piece of hitting, as it looks like Jackson Doulay's night is over and he will be replaced by Riley Sonoy. But nothing Beckett Turnbow could do about that one. He put a great bat to the ball, and Jason Champagne, who we're going to be talking about in our first team all name list, will make the grab for out number 1.
Honorable C note. That's how you know Riley Sonoy is coming up to the plate. Hitting .232 this summer. He's driven in 12 runs, including a 2-run double against this Merchants squad in that 5-run third inning on Friday. From Pierce College. And it's in there for strike one. Sonoy almost offered at it, but left it be.
Sonoy and Dulé kind of mirror each other a little bit as players. They're both pretty tall and fast hitters as Sonoy takes this out to right field.
Sonoy puts a good charge into that. It's up at the wall, just barely stands up. And the play is made out there by Dawson Sugawa. So good contact from the Steel Slingers here in the 6th, but neither gets down. Quickly 2 gone.
Yeah, Sonoy again has been just a little frustrated at the plate since that groin injury he suffered it back in early July. But yeah, like you said, Turnbow to left field and then Sonoy to right field. They've been seeing Batipka really well right now, but just haven't been able to get base runners out of it.
Here's Alex Hamada now. Hamada 0 for 2 with a strikeout and then a fielder's choice back in the 4th. Did come around to score in that 4th inning. Votipka starts him out with a strike. So Votipka and Cooper McBride, pretty similar scripts for them on the mound. This is Votipka's 3rd inning. McBride went 3 innings himself, and both of them just a rough first inning of work and then shut down from there, at least to this point for Joel Votipka.
Yeah, there's an arm standing out there with the catcher in the bullpen for the Merchants. It's unclear whether they've been warming up and are kind of just waiting or what's going on, but there is another righty arm in the bullpen.
And that is Malachi Pearson. So in the first meeting between the Merchants and the Fish Sticks, Sticks were down 5-1 heading into the 8th. It was 7 really strong innings in the start from Ryder Vane. And then Malachi Pearson came in, and the Sticks just crushed him in that 8th inning. He didn't record a single out. All 4 runs in that 8th were counted towards Pearson, and he let the Fish Sticks back in the game. The Merchants eventually did come out on top, but this DubSea lineup has seen Pearson very well as Hamada fouls that off for strike 2. "5-1 Slingers here in the 6th. It was a 2-run first and a 3-run 4th that have vaulted DubSea into this lead. Cold enough for 5 innings of 1-run ball today in this start. 2-2 coming to Hamada, and it's way out. We'll have a full count offering on the way.
This is what Hamada does so uncannily well, is get behind in counts and then force them full again. He's done that now 3 times in the last 2 days.
There's Rylan Gillard on deck. He's 1 for 3 with a run batted in. And Hamada is rung up on a fastball on the outside third. So 1-2-3 inning in the 6th for Joel Votipka. And the Slingers kept off the board for the 2nd inning in a row. They still lead the Everett Merchants 5-1 through the first 2/3 of this one.
Really good job by Votipka. It's going to be interesting to see if we see him come out again for another inning of work, as the pony hop is now going to be set up, and this one should be a grand time.
Pony hop's always a good time, and usually we're good for at least one person just falling forward on their face. Recently we've liked to guess who is going to totally yard sale up front, and usually you can tell in the first few steps who's going to do it. I'm going to say middle.
I'm going to say, I was going to say the lady closest to us. I swear I was. I swear I was going to say it, but she tumbled already. So, too late, unfortunately, but for me there.
She might do it again.
She might do it again.
She's also getting back into the race in the process, but
wow.
Really, really technical pony hopping right there, and eventually the person that I picked to fall forward did, so I'll take it.
Yeah, here's the replay. Just right off the jump.
Instant.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, wow. look at locked in Jackson back there too. Just absolutely dialed getting the shot. It's his shot you're seeing right now. What, you like that, Jackson?
Yeah.
You want to give us a wave?
Yeah, give us a wave. No wave. Oh, there you go. Club Pickleball Perez. That's
such emotion.
It's a little, that is. There's a ton of detected motion coming out of Jackson's spot, especially as the mobile camera operator.
He would probably run me in pickleball. I think I've got him on a tennis court.
You probably do, yeah. Second team All-State tennis player in high school?
I got 3rd at state my senior year.
Oh, look at that.
That's a first pitch swing and a first pitch rake into foul ground. That had some heat on it out to left field. It almost hit the Bartholomew gazebo out there, where Braden Bartholomew hit one foul all the way out there.
I think that and Alex Chamberlain's home run or grand slam for the Honkers might be the 2 hardest hit balls we've seen.
Gavin German hits that hard and leads off the 7th with a base hit. That's his first hit of the day in the 9-hole, and now a runner on for the top of the lineup. Dawson Sugawa will come back up. So Hawthorne Moody giving up 4 hits now, in 6 batters, but a scoreless 6th, looking to do the same here in the 7th, protecting a 5-1 lead. That one's up high to Sugawa for ball 1.
Did we see Sugawa's bat? Was that the bat he was using in the first 2 at-bats? That is
I'm not sure, but it is
good-looking bat.
Really nice, and it matches the Evo Shield and the mid as well. It's just very well thought out from Dawson Sugawa, but swings and misses at that for strike 1. Sugawa from Everett Community College, staying local with the Merchants this summer.
Are they red and black? They have to be.
They are.
Yeah, makes sense. That is might be bat of the year.
Definitely doesn't hold a candle to the batting gloves of Adam Alt-Harvey.
Definitely not.
From the Redmond Dudes. Seems like we get the Redmond Dudes in on every broadcast. Just a very fun team that we got to know very well in 8 matchups between the two here at the Friar.
We'll miss them. We'll miss them. All 8 times they played was right here at home. The Redmond Dudes basically, we were the host family, you could say.
For the Redmond Dudes.
Yeah.
That's not very nice to the Dudes. They do have a home field out in Redmond, but I mean, if you had the choice to play in an atmosphere like this, I don't see why
Can't
not.
turn it down.
You just don't get to have a walk-off chance in 8 games. Counts 3-1 to Sugawa. A walk would put 2 runners on and nobody gone for the Merchants. German has been thinking about going over there. He stays put on 3-1 and it's up high. So 2 runners on, nobody out for the Everett Merchants. And outside of that run in the 4th, we just haven't seen much from this offense today. But now, this is their best chance yet.
Yeah, nobody gone. This is kind of the situation where Hawthorne Moody usually comes in as the relief pitcher to get out of, trouble like this. So we'll see what he does, as Lockwood's had a pretty good day today. He's roped a couple line drives.
That's a line drive down the line, and it's fair. That's going to at least score a run. Gavin German is in safely with a stand-up run and a stand-up double for Jake Lockwood. It's now 5-2. The tying run coming to the plate for the Merchants, and they've got life.
Yeah, first pitch pass ball on the inside part of the zone. And Lockwood, this is what he's done already twice today, only one of which turned into a hit. But that one, no doubt, down the line. And really nice job by Will Cooley to get to that before another run can score. So 2nd and 3rd now with nobody gone. And in a 3-run deficit, the Merchants, one swing of the bat, and this is a whole new ball game.
And we've seen a clutch swing from Caden Christofferson against Hawthorne Moody already this summer. Moody was in the game when Christofferson walked off the fish sticks up at Funko Field a couple weeks ago. He's got a chance to pull the Merchants even closer in this game.
It's now 5 hits given up by Moody in just an inning of work.
2 runners in scoring position, nobody gone. That's a hard hit ball to the ground on Noah Kung. He'll go to first, and they do get an out, but another run plated by the Merchants. They've cut the Seal Slingers lead in half. It's 5-3.
Yeah, they'll score another run. Good heads-up play by Noah Kuhn to take a quick look at Lockwood at second base and then fire across the diamond. So that'll be the end of the outing for Hawthorne Moody. Let's up 2 here in the top of the 7th inning, and it looks like tall Tyler Maurer is going to come in his place.
So that does it for Hawthorne Moody. Scoreless 6th, but a bumpy 7th, and the Merchants have worked their way right back in this game. 5-3 DubSea here in the top of the 7th, and Tyler Maurer standing at 6'7". Just a huge presence out there on the hill. He will come out a late edition to this team, but a timely addition at that. He's thrown 5 1/3 this year, and he's given up 3 runs, 4 Ks, and only a single walk.
Yeah, that's kind of an elevated ERA. We've said that a couple of times, but Maurer came in a couple of days ago and really was not supposed to be the guy that was going to come in and close the game, but came in, got the first 2 outs, including a situation where Garrett DeGallier tried to get Finn Still, who's the normal closer, into the game into the top of the 9th inning, and then Maurer had to come back out because he had to face 3 batters and struck out the next batter he faced. It was incredible discipline from him to get that out. So another high leverage situation here with 1 gone. 2 runs are already in, and he's trying to protect the 3rd in Lockwood, who's at second base from coming in and making this a 1-run ball game.
And the last guy you want up if you're the Steel Slingers is coming up to the plate. It's Dylan Jacobs. Jacobs 1 for 1 with a base hit on the day. He was also hit by a pitch in the 4th and was walked on 4 pitches in the 2nd. DubSea has wanted no business with Dylan Jacobs' bat today.
Good reason for that, too.
Yeah, very good reason. And now he comes up with a chance to tie this game with 1 swing. This game has not been tied since the 1st inning when the Steel Slingers scored 2. And the Merchants would just battle right back in this one. We saw the Fish Sticks do the same thing to the Merchants in their place when they came back from down 5-1 in the late stages of the game, but the Merchants did come out on top in that game 6-5. Now here's Dylan Jacobs. 1 down, runner on second for the Merchants. And Tyler Maurer coming in a big spot on Steel Slinger Sunday. First pitch from the big righty is spiked into the turf, and a really good job by Evan Hellner to keep the runner Lockwood at second.
I think that Garrett DeGallier, the Slingers, and Tyler Maurer had a game plan on that first pitch. They were not going to throw Dylan Jacobs a fastball in a right-on-right situations. They were going to try to go to the off-speed, and that just didn't look like the most confident pitch from Maurer. That one dribbled way before home plate. So an obvious plan of attack right here against Jacobs.
Well, no, there's a fastball in it. Misses by a wide margin again, so it's quickly 2-0 to Dylan Jacobs. Jacobs has only seen 1 strike today, and he turned it into a hot shot base hit up the middle.
And this can turn into kind of an unintentional, intentional walk to put a force out on the base paths with 1 gone, because Jacobs has just been crushing the baseball against the Slingers in the 2nd game of this homestand.
Count is 2 balls, no strikes. And Maurer finds his own for the first time today. That's strike 1, and it's that off-speed stuff. I think anything close to the box right now is probably going to be breaking balls. Retiring Jacobs would be huge. Right here, he does serve as the tying run in this game. 2-1, fastball fouled back. And Maurer's fastball is such a tough one to hit for batters just because it's coming in from such a high arm angle. He goes completely over the top, and he's already 6'7".
And with another foot on the turf mound here at the Friar, that is a high arm angle, and the fastball just comes at almost a diagonal point.
2-2 breaks outside. A full count to Jacobs here. A walk would bring up the go-ahead run for the Merchants in a game where they haven't been within shouting distance in quite some time. They've cut the lead to 2 already here in the 7th, looking for more. Payoff pitch coming from Maurer to Jacobs. Fastball runs in, and it looks like it almost hit Dylan Jacobs. It's ball 4 either way. And not the worst walk in the world of Dylan Jacobs, but he's on base for the 4th time in as many tries. And now that brings up Jason Champagne.
Yeah, again, not terrible to have a force out now on the base paths with just 1 gone here in the top of the 7th, but an extra base hit scores this game right now for Jason Champagne, who not only has a fantastic name, but a great opportunity to completely flip-turn this game. And it's kind of looking like the first time these 2 teams met, just the roles are reversed. It looked like the Slingers couldn't get anything on offense going until late in the game and then made a comeback in the 8th inning. and it was 5-1 at that point. It was 5-1 coming into the 7th, and the Merchants have now played it 2, and they're within striking distance.
So here's Jason Champagne. He went after the first pitch in the 6th and lined out into a double play over at second base. Now he shows bunt and just waves and misses for strike 1. Jason Champagne, we're going to hold a vote. It's spelled like Jason Tatum and then Champaign, Illinois, which is, for some reason works for me.
And it's like a movie star. It's almost a Hollywood-like name. I say yes.
Yes.
There we go. Wow.
Two in one day.
That's
Jason
great.
Champagne. And he did hit. He pinch hit for the other first-team All-Namer, Luka Radjanicic. That's a bunt, and it is perfect. Bases loaded, one down for the Merchants.
Great name, great bunter. That was about as perfect as you could do it, because Hamada's got to stay over at third base, and then miscommunication between Hellner and Tyler Maurer. And recent first-team All-Namer Jason Champagne does exactly what he needs to do, and now the bases are juiced. The tying run is at second base, and Blake Skinner with the base hit can tie this thing up.
Skinner's already got a couple base hits today. He's 2 for 3. First pitch to him is upstairs. 4-1. Matthew McGovern also on deck. He drove in a run in the 4th with a base hit. He's got a couple to his name as well. McGovern also an impossible double play, which is something to think about in this situation with how fast he is. Bases loaded, one down. Fastball in for strike 1 from Maurer.
Yeah, throwing strikes right now is just crucial. No more open base paths, and two guys who have been hitting really well, with Skinner up to the plate, who's 2 for 3 today, and McGovern behind him, and you got no choice. So this is a tough situation for Tyler Maurer to get out of.
1-1 count. Maurer breaking stuff, finds the corner for strike 2. Steel Slingers have led the whole way through. They took a 2-0 lead in the bottom of the first, and since then it's been all Slingers, but 2 runs in the top of the 7th, and the tying run in scoring position for the Merchants right now. Skinner back up the middle. This could be 2. Kung to Turnbow. He mishandles it. Everyone's safe. Now Jacobs breaks for home. He's out by a mile. Hellner hasn't applied the tag. He'll just kind of stand on home, and then finally tags out Jacobs. A wild play. Turnbow was just decked after being unable to barehand the ball at second base. It looked like it could have been a double play. Didn't turn into one. Champagne and Turnbow putting aside their differences right there. He just got shivved and hopped right back up. Guns down the tying run at home, but another run scores for the Merchants. It's 5-4. That first tag did miss from Hellner, but kind of just puppy guards home plate. That was crazy.
I'm going to need a moment on Game Changer for that one.
That'll go down as an E4 on Turnbow. A run does score. First pitch is grounded over to Hamada, and the 7th inning is over, but the Everett Merchants are right back in this game. 3 runs in the top of the 7th, and the Steel Slingers lead has been cut to 1. It's 5-4 at the stretch on the Fish Sticks Network.
Once upon a home in the Issaquah Highlands, the Parkers used Thumbtack for a new kitchen island. Now the pizza is cooking and the kids are excited. Thank goodness for Thumbtack and all it provided. Start your home story on Thumbtack.
Oh, sweet. Thanks, Crispy.
You ever wonder how Crispy gets to the fryer for games? He uses King County Metro's Rapid Ride H-Line. King County Metro, the official commute of your DubSea Fish Sticks.
The Everett Merchants, 3 runs in the top of the 7th. And they have cut into this lead. It's now 5-4 Seal Slingers. And Malachi Pearson on the bump for the Merchants. Had one of his worst outings of the summer. His first try against DubSea. Didn't record an out, and 4 runs came across, credited to him. In a raging comeback in the 8th inning from the Fish Sticks up at Funko Field. And there's an added tension here at the Friar now that the Merchants are just right back within striking distance.
Yeah, and pressure to add on a couple of insurance runs as we're back to the top of the order with Rylan Gullard, who back to his old ways with a single his last time up, an RBI single to the right side of the infield. And it felt tense in the bottom half, or in the top half of that inning. It seemed like everyone was on the edge of their seat a little bit to see if the Merchants could push past. And now the Seal Slingers have a chance to add on a couple of runs.
Rylan Gullard, the leadoff man in the lineup, will lead off the bottom of the 7th inning and watches a looper for strike 1. Gullard, Cooley, Bartholomew, 1-2-3. Due up for the Slingers. Cooley has been great today. He's 2 for 3, also drove in a run on a fielder's choice in the 4th. Gullard watches ball 1.
Again, Pearson is the guy that you mentioned that got rocked in that 8th inning up in Everett about a week and a half ago, or a couple weeks ago now, and it's going to take a heroic effort from Pearson to get through this top part of the order.
1-1, Gullard ahead, and he's in a 2-strike count here. Second 2-strike count we've seen Gully in today, and struck out looking first time up.
Connor Lee doing
wow, he's not scrolling.
A great job videotaping.
1-2 coming to Rylan Gullard. He sits on it and pops it up into left field. About as routine as it gets for Jason Champagne out there. 1 gone in the bottom of the 7th.
And one thing that we haven't mentioned in the last couple of games against the Merchants is that Jace Rainey was 3 for 4 in his first and only game as a fish stick. And he would have been stick of the game had that gone the Seal Slingers' way, but he's not in the lineup, and he made multiple clutch hits, including one in the 8th. And interesting we haven't seen Rainey since then.
That one breaks into the plate on the lefty, Will Cooley, for strike 1. Again, Cooley having a great day. He's 2 for 3 with a single and a double. Brought in a run in that 3-run 4th with a fielder's choice. That's an easy take for him for ball 1, but 2-hole has just been kind of a gray area since Gavin George went down and Jake Rolling did the same, but Will Cooley has been very good in this spot today.
Yeah, and he's basically emulating exactly what both of those guys brought, as this is another hard line drive, but right to the second baseman, so he'll be retired again. But both George and Rolling had really high slugging percentages, were just off to great starts before their unfortunate injuries, and Will Cooley is looking like exactly the guy that could fill that role.
Here's a mainstay, Braden Bartholomew, 1 for 3, a base hit in the first where he came around to score. A couple ground outs since then, and this has been night and day for Malachi Pearson as opposed to last Monday. Now Bartholomew lays down a 2-out bunt. Jacobs was not ready, still makes the play. That's his second insane play at third base of the afternoon. 1-2-3 for Malachi Pearson in the 7th.
And Jacobs has been as impressive in the field as he has at the plate. And Bartholomew, it is not often you'll see him lay down a bunt, especially with how hot he has been recently, and especially with 2 outs. So we stayed here because we are going to be showing the fish toss.
So Crispy's over there about as close as possible to the ice chest with a tiny net. Crispy's not really helping out anyone. He's made the ice chest 0 for 3 in the fish toss today. Now Jackson's throwing fish. Not even those are going in. Just not Crispy's day. He lost the Crispy race earlier. He can't do anything right in the fish toss. And It's okay. It's okay. Crispy will bounce back. Beckett Turnbow now on the mound for the Seal Slingers after Hawthorne Moody and Tyler Maurer come together and give up 3 runs in that 7th inning. It's Turnbow who, at the same time he's turned around his season at the plate, he's turned around his season on the mound. Here's another look at Dylan Jacobs. Bare hand 5-3 on a bunt from Braden Bartholomew.
It's a really impressive play, and like you said, that's his second really impressive play of the day. And Bartholomew, as we said, is not going to bunt very often in that position. Tried to catch Jacobs off guard, and Jacobs was ready.
A chaotic end to the top of the 7th inning where Blake Skinner looked like he might have grounded into an inning-ending double play. And then an error at second base by Beckett Turnbow, who's now on the mound. Then Turnbow gets up after getting, for lack of a better word, trucked by Jason Champagne and gets Dalen Jacobs out at the plate. And then on one pitch, Matthew McGovern grounds out into a fielder's choice. And I believe the Rapid Ride bus just rear-ended the King County Metro water taxi, which might raise some bad blood for the boat race.
Yep. Tough one there. It's kind of a canon event in a way for every new driver. I had a
happens to the best of us.
Yeah,
man.
I had a particular friend who did it twice in one day just last week.
Ooh.
Yeah, tough one. Backed into 2 people in the same day. It was a tough go.
Yeah, it happens. I mean,
yeah.
What are you gonna do?
You just got to shake it off at that point and move on.
Turnbow was at second. Now he comes in on the mound. You got to think maybe this was planned with Tyler Eisenhut in Mark Lynn's back pocket. He's now at second base.
An absolute game-changer nightmare has been the last 2 innings for an analyst like me who is in charge of the game changer right now.
It has been a lot in a small amount of time with the end of the top of the 7th inning and then a quick bottom of the 7th from Malachi Pearson. There's a look at the Merchants bullpen. Malachi Pearson didn't even get an out last time he threw against the Fish Sticks, but now after a great 7th, we can only expect him to come back out for the 8th.
Yeah, and it was the exact opposite of what he did the last time these 2 teams played up in Everett, as Josiah's kind of dangling a fish out there for Jackson. Get more aggressive.
So here's Billy Cooey. It'll be Cooey and then Gavin German, who led off the 7th, and Dawson Sugawa due up here in the 8th against Beckett Turnbow. And Turnbow misses in with a fastball for ball 1. Turnbow obviously has been so good at the plate over the weekend. On the mound, we haven't seen him yet this weekend as that one runs in. He's got serious velo, but as you saw right there, control can be an issue for him. 23 Ks and 14 walks, and there was an outing that he had against the Wenatchee Apple Sox. He came in for 2 and change of relief and just shut down a potent Apple Sox lineup, and ever since then he's been throwing so well on the mound. He's behind 3-0 to his leadoff batter, Billy Cooey, right here.
Yeah, it's almost like his hitting and his pitching just turned a corner at the same time, and I really think we can pinpoint it as that is ball 4 to Billy Cooey. We could pinpoint it to that pitching performance he had against the Apple Sox, who are the best team in the WCL this year, and really since then has become so much better on the mound. That outing was on July 1st. It was a back-to-back times that he was in Wenatchee. At that point, his ERA had risen up to 9, and since then it's gotten down to 5.06.
Walks the first batter, Billy Cooey, on 4 pitches, and then starts off Gavin German with a strike. German 1 for 3. He led off that 3-run 7th with a base hit off Hawthorne Moody. Merchants have out-hit the Slingers in this game. Merchants with 9 hits, Slingers with 8, as Turnbow is ahead 0-2, and you're not going to see much else from that fastball. It is pretty heater-heavy for Beckett Turnbow. Comes set with the 0-2. Another fastball, and that's called strike 3. 4-pitch walk followed by a 3-pitch strikeout. That is the Beckett Turnbow experience.
It is, in a nutshell, and that fastball is ranging up to 92, 93 miles an hour, and when it's at the knees and outside, as you can see, the Merchants bench didn't like that call. But when you're pumping 92, 93 to the outside part of the zone, it's almost impossible to hit.
Fourth straight strike on the fastball starts off Dawson Sugawa. Sugawa 0 for 3, walked in that seventh, came around to score. Part of the crew that got that rally going that really just vaulted the Merchants back into this game as that's down low for ball one. We've only seen 10 hits off Beckett Turnbow in 16 innings this summer, so it has been very hard to hit for batters across the PIL and the WCL and anyone that's faced him. 1-1 to Sugawa is a few steps down for ball two.
Also fun that Turnbow going to New Mexico State is now pitching to Evan Hellner, who's also going to New Mexico State. So 2 incoming freshmen down there going to Las Cruces. First time I've shouted out the city, not you.
We've seen this battery quite a bit this year, as that's ball 3 from Turnbow, and there's Billy Cooey over on first base. But we've seen this battery quite a bit, and it seems like Turnbow has really become comfortable with Hellner behind the plate. Most of the times he throws, it's Evan Hellner that's catching him, and it makes sense. I mean, they're both going to be playing for the Aggies next year, and that's a hot shot into center field from Dawson Sugawa. It gets down. Gullard's throw to third is a little to the left of Hamada. Sugawa advances to second. The go-ahead run is in scoring position for the Merchants.
Yeah, that was ripped off of the single right on the inside part of the plate from Beckett Turnbow, who at some point when his pitch sequencing is just all fastballs, teams are going to jump on that, and they do right there. Usually it's really hard to hit, but that time Sugawa just sends it out to left center field, and Ryland Gullard had to move too far to his right and made a good throw, but just a little bit offline. So with one gone, as you said, the tying run, or the go-ahead run, is in scoring position for the Merchants for Jake Lockwood, who has been so good today.
And Billy Cooey is going to be taken out for a pinch runner right here. The Merchants want speed on third base with 1 out and a fly ball scoring the tying run. So instead of Billy Cooey, it's now Maury Salam, who we saw in the first 2 games of this season series. He's running for Cooey at third, serving as the tying run. And again, this game hasn't been tied since the first inning. The Merchants have not led the whole way through. Here's Jake Lockwood, 2 for 4 with a single and a double. Drove in a run in the 7th. Turnbow misses for ball 1.
And he's got 2 hits, but really should have 3. One of them was a line drive taken straight at Noah Kuhn, who's been seeing the ball so well. No batting gloves, almost like Evan Gaddis in a way.
Huh. Nice.
Nice.
1-0 from Turnbow, popped up. This is the reason Maury Salam is on third. Gullard pretty deep in center. It's going to score Salam. Sugawa stays at second, and this game is tied.
I don't think there really needed to be a pinch runner in that situation. That ball was taken so far out to left center field that Cooey could have done it himself. He could have walked in. But really nice piece of hitting again from Lockwood, who gets the sac fly, and just like that, 4 runs coming in the 7th and the 8th inning, and suddenly the game is tied.
And still a runner at second base for the Merchants with Caden Christofferson now up. Christofferson 0 for 3, drove in a run with a ground out in the 7th, and Dylan Jacobs on deck. The last guy the Seal Slingers want to face. Hot bounce off the backstop. Tag gets away from Hamada. It looks like Sugawa was probably going to be safe at third anyway, but the ball bounces out of the mitt of Alex Hamada at third base, and no question about it. Sugawa's at third. Not a huge 90 feet right there with 2 outs. It's interesting that they even sent him, or if he even went on the pass ball in the first place, but either way, he's on third with 2 down.
Yeah, that's a wild pitch from Beckett Turnbow.
When O comes home to Christofferson, and it's outside. Like I mentioned before, Sugawa broke for third. Dylan Jacobs is on deck. Jacobs 1 for 1 with a base hit, walked twice, hit by a pitch once today. It's been an impossible out for the Seal Slingers. That is the last guy you want to face in a situation like this. And that's a zone finder from Turnbow for strike one. If you're Beckett Turnbow, you see number 26 in the on-deck circle. You have to go with Caden Christofferson right now.
100%. And Evan Hellner, you can see his future teammate trying to calm him down behind the dish, and great frame there on a ball low in the zone to get that first strike.
First tie since the first inning. Seal Slingers have been in control the whole way. Turnbow misses for ball three. Three-one count to Caden Christofferson. He did walk in the first inning, was instantly picked off by the lefty Cole Nupfer. 3-1 on the way. Christofferson swings at ball four. You can see his confusion. That is a chase and a half.
Yeah, it was kind of like a half swing. He might have been sitting on an off-speed pitch. But either way, nicely put in, maybe a little high in the zone by Beckett Turnbow, and this is a crucial payoff.
3-2 on the way from Turnbow. Fastball chased up high again. Beckett Turnbow strands a runner at third, but the Merchants have tied this game. Either way, that is a huge strikeout for Beckett Turnbow. He gets Caden Christofferson the chase. Seal Slingers looking for the lead again after the break.
Once upon a home in the Issaquah Highlands, the Parkers used Thumbtack for a new kitchen island. Now the pizza is cooking and the kids are excited. Thank goodness for Thumbtack and all it provided. Start your home story on Thumbtack.
Wendy's went back to the kitchen to give our famous spicy chicken sandwich a total upgrade. More crunch, more flavor, with heat that just hits. Is this our best spicy chicken ever? Looks like a yes to me. Spicy chicken just got better at Wendy's.
They always say, think happy thoughts. It's easy when you're a Wendy's Cookie Dough Frosty Fusion. I'm an instant dopamine hit. Get it? Dope-amine? Like cookie dough. I said like cookie dough! Happiness is a Cookie Dough Frosty Fusion at Wendy's.
Oh, Audrey, look over there.
Where? Oh, a whole herd of reindeer beers.
Not herds, Audrey. Rainier's come in six-pack.
Oh,
Wake up, Harley.
Harley, look at the reindeers. Oh, they're just so fresh and friendly.
On July 13th at Funko Field, the DubSea Fish Sticks came from down 5-1, tied it up in the top of the eighth inning at 5 apiece, and that eventually turned into one of the best innings we've seen all year in the PIL, and the Everett Merchants came out on top 6-5 today. The DubSea Seal Slingers have taken a 5-1 lead in the early stages, and the Everett Merchants have scored 3 in the 7th and now 1 in the 8th to tie it up at 5, and we are in the exact same spot we were 13 days ago here at the Friar.
Yeah, the bad news was that the Slingers have led up this 5-1 lead that they've really had the entirety of the game after scoring 2 in the bottom of the first. But the good news is that in the bottom of the 9th of that last game that you mentioned, the Merchants ended up winning that game in a walk-off single. So if deja vu were real, the Slingers would have the advantage. But right now we're in the 8th inning, so still another opportunity for the Merchants to come up in the top of the 9th. And the heart of the order due up, and the Slingers need offense. They haven't gotten any since the 4th.
Here's Evan Hellner. He watches inside for ball one. It's Hellner, then Tyler Eisenhut and Noah Kung due up for the Slingers. Eisenhut replaced Beckett Turnbow at second base after Turnbow came into pitch in the top of the 8th inning. Turnbow's due up 4th in this inning, so if anyone gets on base and there's no double plays, then Turnbow will come up. But now with Eisenhut in the field and Turnbow on the mound, the Seal Slingers have lost their DH. So either Beckett Turnbow gets to the plate in this inning, or he either has to come out for the 9th inning, or there might be a Hawthorne Moody in Tacoma situation where a pitcher has to hit in his spot.
Which is such an interesting integral to the game. But Hawthorne Moody is 1 for 1 this season. He's got the best average, slugging, on-base percentage, OPS.
Of course,
whole
Hawthorne
deal.
Moody cannot come up. He's already pitched. 2-1 is fouled back by Hellner. Count is now 2-2. Hellner 1 for 2 coming into this AB. He had an RBI single back in the first. That was the first run of the game and gave the Slingers a lead that they had not let up until the top of the 8th. Infield very deep for the Merchants on Evan Hellner. 2-2 on the way. Poked maybe through the middle. Maury Salam can't make the play. Should go down as a hit for Evan Hellner. It just finds a weak spot up the middle and a huge leadoff runner for DubSea.
Yeah, it will go down as a hit. I don't think if Maury Salam could have gotten to that ball at second base, he would have been able to throw out Hellner anyway. And Hellner doesn't have a ton of speed, but that ball was kind of just weakly-ish hit towards the exact right part of the infield. And as you said, the infield was playing so deep, and yet still Maury Salam had a long way to go to that one. So huge first base runner for the Slingers. And despite Tyler Eisenhut just coming in, I would not be shocked to see a bunt.
So here's Tyler Eisenhut hitting in the DH spot for JT Hardy, but he's playing second base. And then there it is, a bunt down the first base line. It's going to stay fair. Pearson could have tagged him, but instead goes to first. So Hellner in scoring position with one gone, and Noah Kung, who, while it might feel like a pretty silly stat, has been really good in Sunday home games wearing the baby blues.
He has been, and that was really well executed by Tyler Eisenhut, who came into second base to replace Beckett Turnbow, who was on the mound and was given the bunt signal and executed it perfectly. So now with one gone, runner on second base for Noah Kung, who is the greatest seal slinger of all time.
Here's something else about that sac bunt with Noah Kung now up and Beckett Turnbow on deck as Kung fouls that off. You want to get Beckett Turnbow to the plate here because you've lost your DH, and if the Seal Slingers did go down 1-2-3, which would have needed to be a double play with Evan Hellner on base, then Beckett Turnbow would have likely had to come out and pitch the 9th inning. But now, with Turnbow seemingly bound to come up in the 8th, Mark Lynn has the entire bullpen. He can just choose whoever he wants, and he doesn't have to worry about them at the plate. Kung down the line, it's going to go foul, but almost gave the Seal Slingers the lead.
Yeah, Pearson has floated 2 straight, just hanging curveballs into the middle of the zone that Noah Kung has just been a touch in front of each time. He ripped 2 straight foul balls, so I would be shocked if Pearson threw another one here.
Kung behind 0-2, 1 for 2 on the day, 6 for 8 on the summer as a DubSea Seal Slinger, and that is uncompetitive on 0-2 for ball 1.
Yeah, I'm unsurprised by that fastball.
Go-ahead run in scoring position for the Slingers in the form of Evan Hellner. 1 down in the bottom of the 8th. 1-2 coming to Noah Kung, and he swings and misses. The foul tip is into the mitt of Jake Lockwood. 2 down in the 8th, and that is a huge K for Malachi Pearson.
Yeah, I think Kuhn just tried to put too much into this swing, and after 2 foul balls that he just laced down the left field line, he's unable to get to that one, and now Pearson's going to come out.
So it looks like the Merchants will play to the left, or excuse me, Malachi Pearson, the righty, will likely stay in this game. They should stay with the right-on-right matchup, and they're going to do just that against Beckett Turnbow. But if you had to choose one guy right now, if you're Mark Lynn, to have at the plate based on how they've been hitting this weekend, it's probably Beckett Turnbow.
Yeah, after a little bit of frustration that he let out in that relief appearance and how hot he has been, this is a great time for Beckett Turnbow to turn on a baseball and maybe give himself the lead if he were to come in and close out the 9th.
He can make himself the winning pitcher if he drives in a run right here and the Seal Slingers close it out. Runner on second, 2 down for Turnbow is 0 for 2 today. First pitch skips in for ball 1. Riley Sonoy on deck. He came in to pinch hit for Jackson Dule in the 6th. He's 0 for 1. Turnbow 8 for 8 on Thursday and Friday against the Redmond Dudes, and the Everett Merchants went back-to-back on stick of the game into right field. Long run to the right, but it's caught out there by by Dawson Sagawa. A scoreless eighth for Malachi Pearson. He goes 2 clean frames. And we head into the 9th, all knotted up at 5. That's going to mean Ryder Peterson comes into the game for the Seal Slingers, and that's what makes Becca Turnbow getting to the plate in that 8th so big, because now you can go to a guy like Ryder Peterson. He doesn't have to lead off the bottom of the 9th inning at the plate.
Yeah, and Ryder Peterson, alongside Finn Still, has been the guy to go to in these 9th inning situations. Peterson this season, 15th appearance of the year. That is now the most on the team. He's gone 21 innings, has let up 12 earned, but has 19 strikeouts, good for a 5.14 ERA. But multiple times as he's come in and closed games, including against the Seattle Studs a couple of weeks ago in a big game where the DubSea Fish Sticks came back from 7 runs down. He came up 1-2-3 top of the 9th against the PIL winning Seattle Studs, and he's back in action again to try to do the same.
So impressive to me that he's thrown all these innings as a primary bullpen guy, and obviously the trust is there from this coaching staff for Ryder Peterson, but Peterson has not seen this Merchants lineup yet this summer.
No, and he has 12 earned runs, but 11 of those have come in 2 appearances, one of which came in the incident against the Wenatchee Apple Sox, and the other against the Northwest Honkers, and it was on 1 swing. It was a grand slam from Alex Chamberlain. So other than those 2, he has been really, really good in relief. He's been scoreless in relief in 3 of his last 4 appearances at the mound.
Merchants 5, Seal Slingers 5. DubSea led this game 5-1, and the Merchants came all the way back. They tied it up in the top of the 8th inning, and now we head into the 9th, all even at 5 runs. After this game at Mel Olson Stadium, the DubSea Fish Sticks Youth Baseball Camp will take residence here at the Friar. Ages 6 through 13 can come out for $250 per camper. That's July 28th through the 30th, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. You can learn from former Fish Sticks head coach Elliot Kribbe, Fish Sticks players, and assistant coaches. And registration also includes an exclusive camp t-shirt and 2 tickets to a Fish Sticks game. Space is limited, so scan the QR code or visit gofishsticks.com/baseball camps to reserve your spot today. Dylan Jacobs will lead off the inning. This is the 4th time he's led off an inning today. Jacobs, Champagne, and Skinner, 4, 5, 6, due up for the Merchants, and Jacobs watches strike 1. He's been a really tough out, impossible to be exact. He's reached base all 4 times with a single, a hit by pitch, and a couple walks. The one from Peterson is just down.
And Jacobs is going to be a little bit more patient this at-bat. He didn't see a whole lot of strikes in the beginning of this game, and then swung on a 2-0 pitch that was a hit up the middle. But in this situation, base runners are needed.
1-1, that is fouled off. Over to the soccer complex for strike 2, and boy, how timely would an out of Dylan Jacobs be here to start the 9th.
Yeah, especially for Ryder Peterson in a left on right matchup and another righty on deck. 3 straight righties coming in here in the 9th. And so putting trust in the lefty Peterson to retire those 3 guys.
1-2 on the way. Jacobs fouls it back and stays alive. Peterson from Whitman College down in Walla Walla. College teammates with Hawthorne Moody, who already pitched in this game.
He's not going to blow you away with velocity, but just paints the corners really well.
Another 1-2 coming to Dylan Jacobs. Just foul down the third base line. There's an ice chest that is mainly emptied out, but still a few hanging on.
Sunday crowd has dissipated a tiny bit, but still a really good amount of people here.
Especially down the first base line where we're at. Third straight 1-2 coming from Ryder Peterson to Dylan Jacobs. That is fouled away again.
Jacobs is under every single pitch from Peterson. I would expect Peterson to not really go on an off-speed pitch so that Jacobs could adjust to it, but he's just been doing exactly that, and Jacobs has been fouling off every single one.
Jacobs and then Jason Champagne, who had a base hit last time up, and Blake Skinner. Fourth straight 1-2 offering, and that is nowhere close for ball 2. It almost hit Jacobs, which would have been a killer for Ryder Peterson, but misses him. It goes behind him for ball 2.
That's not a pitch miss you'll see every day.
Dylan Jacobs making Ryder Peterson work for the first out of the 9th inning. This will be pitch number 7 of the at-bat. 2-2 on the way, and that just misses. It's ball 3, and a couple boos coming from the Friar.
That's exactly the pitch that Peterson has been striking people out with, but I think that was a good call. That dipped below the knees at the last second.
Here comes the payoff to Dylan Jacobs. He's already been walked twice today. He goes after that one, and it's a base hit. What a day Dylan Jacobs is having. He's 2 for 2. He's reached base all 5 times he's come up. He's made 2 insane plays over at third base with the mitt. Another leadoff runner in the form of Dylan Jacobs for the Everett Merchants in this game.
An incredible at-bat from Jacobs, who not only has had a heck of a game today, but had a heck of a game the last time these two teams met 2 days ago, and battles off 5 foul balls before ripping a line drive single. And now Jason Champagne is up to the plate with McGovern in the hole.
Hamada in, watching the bunt from Champagne, and there it is. That misses low from Peterson. Looks like maybe a grain of turf got in the umpire's eye off the bounce right there, but it's ball 1. Got to think Champagne will stick with the bunt here and move Dylan Jacobs into scoring position, or at least try to. Tie ball game here in the 9th. 11 hits for the Merchants, 9 for the Seal Slingers. Champagne shows bunt again, lays it down. It's in fair territory. Peterson will go to first. Throw is a little late, and he's safe. Now Tyler Eisenhut and Jason Champagne are having a chat over on first base. Champagne already lit up Beckett Turnbow and got a parting shot in on Tyler Eisenhut on the way through.
Eisenhut standing up for his teammate as he should, but Peterson should have thrown that a little harder over to first. That's the 2nd straight bunt single for Jason Champagne. He laid down a perfect bunt when Tyler Maurer was pitching to load the bases. And now with nobody out, runners on first and second for Blake Skinner, who has 2 hits in this game.
Ryder Peterson in a jam right here. 2 runners on and nobody gone for the Everett Merchants, who have not led in this game. Blake Skinner brought in a run on an E4 earlier in this game and made it a 1-run contest. Peterson misses up for ball 1.
Huge to force a ground ball right now if you're Ryder Peterson. A double play is absolutely essential, especially with someone like McGovern who's on deck.
One more offering to Skinner, who's got 2 base hits today, both up the middle. He shows bunt, and that's low for ball 2. Merchants just clawing their way back into this game. It hasn't been a power display from them, but countless singles after 5 really strong innings from Cole Nupfer. Everett has seen the Seal Slingers bullpen very well and gotten back into this game. 2-0 comes home. Skinner, there's the ground ball Peterson needed. 6-4-3, double play. Huge turn from the Seal Slingers infield. 2 gone.
That was huge from Ryder Peterson. First it was Kung, and then Eisenhut 1-step gun down to Braden Bartholomew. Nice stretch just in the nick of time, and that cannot be overstated how massive that was. Now a runner on third with 2 outs for McGovern.
Boy, how about having Matthew McGovern up right now? McGovern on the day is 2 for 3 with a couple base hits, also a walk mixed in there. He drove in a run in the 4th. Hitting 7th today, but undoubtedly one of the best hitters in the entire Merchants lineup. And with the righty McGovern coming up, Garrett DeGallier is going to head out to the mound, and I would assume this won't be the day for Ryder Peterson. It might be. looks like he will stay in for McGovern.
I think they're going to try to execute some sort of game plan against him. Again, still a left on right matchup. So the first 4 batters that Peterson's going to face as a lefty will be righties. So I'd assume also this is giving some more time for someone in the pen to be warming up as well. Kind of a double-edged sword. But great job by Ryder Peterson again to force that ground ball, and even better job by Noah Kung and Tyler Eisenhut to execute it.
So you've got Matthew McGovern up. You've got a couple open bags if you're the Seal Slingers, and you've got Maury Salam on deck, who hasn't come to the plate all day. Is there a chance that maybe we see McGovern not see a pitch he wants this time up?
Possibly, but I think the coaching staff knows exactly what speed they have in McGovern, and essentially giving a free bag is letting him get to second base, because there's no way that Evan Hellner would throw down to second, because they probably wouldn't get him anyway, and there's a runner at third.
So they'll take their chances with Matthew McGovern here. First pitch from Peterson into right field. Sonoy a few steps back. He's going to the wall. He's at the track. He makes the catch. Ryder Peterson escapes the ninth, and the Seal Slingers need one to walk off the Merchants at the Friar.
For over 15 years, As You Wish Electric has offered the comprehensive electrical solutions Seattle families trust. We are proud to announce that we can now also serve your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs. As we grow, we are committed to delivering the same knowledgeable and friendly experience that earned our spot as the region's top-rated electrical company. Contact As You Wish Electric Plumbing, Heating, and Air today to learn more.
Ryder Peterson with some kind of escape in the top half of the ninth inning. He puts 2 runners on with nobody out, then a double play followed by a fly out. Gets him out of the ninth inning clean, and we head into the bottom half, tied at 5. Aiden Jones from Southwestern Oregon Community College now comes in from Arlington, Washington, and he'll face Alex Hamada. Or excuse me, he won't face Alex Hamada first. He'll face him third. It looks like Jake Daly will come into this game in place of Ryder Peterson, who obviously is not going to come up in this situation, but they'll pinch hit Daly. It'll be Daly, Sonoy, Hamada for the time being.
I actually think they're going to pinch hit Jake Daly for Riley Sonoy, because it's past that point in the DH spot. And so Sonoy, who just made that play in right field, is going to come out, so it'll be Daly and then Hamada at the bottom of the order.
I don't see why they would put Daly in Sonoy's spot, though, because you have Ryder Peterson coming up to the plate. You're going to have to take him out of the lineup. That's a non-negotiable. And Riley Sonoy, has been swinging the stick well. He's a good defender out in right. I don't see why they would put Daly in for Sonoy and not Ryder Peterson. This is all very confusing because when Beckett Turnbow moved in from second base to come pitch, the Seal Slingers lost their DH for the game. And Ryder Peterson is due up right now, but it looks like they will have Jake Daly hit in his place to get the bottom of the ninth rolling.
It also does benefit the left on right matchup. Sonoy, the lefty, would come in against the lefty Aiden Jones.
And if you want to think about it this way, right now, Daly is hitting for Sonoy. I am twisted up.
Yeah.
I would like to apologize to everyone.
I was gonna try to say you could probably simplify that a little bit.
Okay.
Turnbow was the DH spot that got really confusing.
Turnbow hit last inning.
Mm-hmm.
I should be fired. Jake Daly is hitting for Riley Sonoy right here, and then it's Daly, Hamada, Gullard due up. I just forgot to score Beckett Turnbow's at bat.
There we go.
Happens to the best of us.
It does.
And I am not the best of us.
You are the best of us.
Hey, thanks, man. So Jake Daly watches ball 1 go by. Daly, a really disciplined guy at the plate, but hitting just 171 on the summer. And the 1-0 is outside again from Aiden Jones, the new arm for the Merchants. Malachi Pearson goes 2 really strong innings out of the pen.
It's a tough spot for Jones to come into in the bottom of the ninth inning.
And he's behind 3-0 on Daly. This is the ultimate take sign if you're Jake Daly. And Alex Amata on deck, and then it gets back to Rylan Gullard, Will Cooley, and Braden Bartholomew after that.
I also wouldn't be surprised if this is a walk, which it is not at this point, that Daly gets pinch ran for at first base because he doesn't have the most speed on the team, and there are a lot of speedy options on the bench right now.
That substitution also puts Daly in right field, which we haven't seen him play in the outfield all summer. 3-1, he offers at it, and it's fouled back. Definitely was in the zone. It's the first swing we've seen from him. And the count fills up, so Aiden Jones battles back. This would be a huge leadoff runner for the Slingers. Tie game in the bottom of the ninth. Daly takes it opposite field. It's a fair ball. It'll be extra bases for Daly. He's into second safely. Leadoff double for the Slingers.
What a great piece of hitting from Jake Daly to get that pitch on the outside top half of the plate from the lefty, Aiden Jones, and take it. It just hugs the right field line, and now the game-winning run is at second base. And for Jake Daly, who's been struggling from the plate, that is so huge.
So corners way in for the Merchants with Alex Amata. You can make the argument he's the best bunter on the team. Now at the plate, will likely be looking to move Jake Daly to third base. There he is. He shows bunt and pulls back for strike one.
Amata's already had a walk-off hit this season against the Redmond Dudes. A bunt would be a huge 90 feet to put Jake Daly at third with just one out.
Dylan Jacobs has moved to first. Blake Skinner now at third. And Gavin German at short with Maury Salam at second. So a lot of movement in the infield for the Merchants as Jones misses high for ball one. Actually, every single infield spot is different with Maury Salam now in the game. Outfield stays put for the Merchants. 1-1 coming to Hamada. Shows bunt right here. Jones takes his time. 1-1, laid down foul. So now 2 strikes. We've seen Tyler Eisenhut try to lay down a bunt with 2 strikes this year.
I don't think he's going to come around to bunt on this one, especially with the history that Alex Amata has had in this kind of situation.
Maurice Salam, the second baseman, playing deep almost into the outfield grass. Infield shifted to the pull side of Hamada. Jake Daly on second after a huge leadoff double. 1-2 coming to Hamada. That's a line drive into right field. It gets down. Daly's going to have to stay at third. It was hit hard by Hamada and a tough read, but Jake Daly and Alex Amata deliver at the bottom of the lineup, and now there's runners on the corners and no one gone for Rylan Gullard.
Yeah, that was really unfortunate. Look here, Daly goes back and then slips on his first step going to third base, so he had no chance to get home, but you can see he's a little frustrated with himself there. That was a surefire hit for Alex Amata, and Daly took one step towards the bag and then slipped and then has to stay at third, but now nobody out and a runner on third base. It's not the worst situation in the world. No reason to force Jake Daly to go home there, and with Rylan Gullard up to the plate, the Slingers are anticipating good things to happen.
Aiden Jones only faces 2 batters, gives up a couple hits. And now Mason Kuntz will come in to face Rylan Gullard. This is perfectly set up for the Seal Slingers. Gullard at the top of the lineup, followed by Will Cooley and Braden Bartholomew. You said this earlier, but you've got Jake Daly at third. Not the fastest guy on the team, but can run. We might see Daly pinch ran for over at third, just so the run scores on a fly ball in any case. We saw the Merchants do the same thing with Maury Salam coming in for Billy Cooey. Gullard was the stick of the game last night. He went 4 for 6, just a nuclear day for him. Today he's 1 for 4, comes into this game in 323. driven in 25 runs this summer. It was 24 coming into this contest. He drove in one with a single in the fourth.
This is such a tough place for Mason Kuntz to come in. First and third, team tied in the bottom of the ninth inning. You've got the top of the order coming up. Rylan Gollard is such a hard strikeout, so the infield is going to be all the way in. You just got to pray that Rylan Gollard somehow hits a ground ball to the exact right person on the infield and hold Daly at third base. That is essentially the only way that Rylan Gollard, other than a strikeout, would be put down right now. We are GU.
Infield is way in for the Merchants right here. Rylan Gollard with a chance to walk off the Everett Merchants on Seal Slinger Sunday. Nobody gone for the Slingers. Jake Daly on third. He led off the ninth with a double down the right field line, and then Alex Amata base hit into right. Puts him at first.
For what it's worth, Alex Amata is going to steal second base here.
Actually doesn't, as Gollard watches ball one. There is no one to cover the bag.
There isn't.
I think at some point Alex Amata will likely realize that it is a free base. It's just that right now that runner does not matter too much. There he goes on the 1-0, and I don't know what Jake Lockwood was gonna do with that. No one's covering the bag. Everyone's too far in. So 2 runners in scoring position, but right now the only runner that matters is Jake Daly on third. Count is 1-1 to Gollard.
That is big in case Daly is thrown out, that Hamada gets that free 90 feet, but now it's just bombs away for Rylan Gollard.
Huge lead for Hamada at second. 1-1, Gollard up the middle! Daly will score! And Rylan Gollard calls game! Seal Slingers win 6-5.
What else did we expect from the hit king himself, Rylan Gollard? I said that it would have to be a ground ball, but that would be the only way Gollard would get out. He just rips it right up the middle. No chance for any Merchant defender to get there, and Rylan Gollard is just absolutely charged at by the rest of the Seal Slinger dugout, and no one more deserving to get a walk-off hit than Rylan Gollard, who has just been the most consistent bat this year for the Slingers.
4 games in 4 days and 4 wins for the Seal Slingers at home. They improved to 22-13 on the campaign, 10-8 in PIL play. Lowest run output of the homestand for the offense, and they do just enough tonight. And the parallels between the first and the third meetings of this season series are uncanny. It's another walk-off in a game where the team that eventually won led 5-1 and let the other team right back in the game and ended up walking it off. This time it's Rylan Gollard. And you said it, no one deserves it more.
And he's going to be our stick of the game for the second straight game. Rylan Gollard will be our stick of the game. 2 for 5, 2 RBIs, and none bigger than the walk-off hit right up the middle. That scored Jake Daly, and huge props to both Jake Daly and Alex Hamada. Daly comes in and pinch hits in the bottom of the ninth, is ahead 3-0, gets worked back to 3-2, and then rips a double down the right field line. Because Rylan Gollard's jersey is just all sopping wet.
Thankfully, they don't have to wear those anymore this summer, because that might be ruined.
This is how the game started. Back in the first inning, Evan Hellner with a single that scored Will Cooley, and then Noah Kuhn later in that inning, a line drive single to right field to score another run in which Hellner would be picked off at second, and then Rylan Gollard a single in the fourth inning to get the running started again, and then looked like a fielder's choice that scored another. Then here's Daly in the ninth inning. Rips one down the right field line, just touches. It kisses the white chalk The leadoff man is at second base, which there's not a better way to start off the bottom of the ninth inning. And then Alex Amata could have had the walk-off single here, but Daly was held up at third, but that just led way for Rylan Gullard, the most consistent hitter on this Fish Stick team, to deliver on the last Slinger Sunday of the season with the walk-off hit.
We will talk to Rylan Gullard at some point. He's heading over right now. Also, I just want to shout out Ryder Peterson. He allows 2 runners with nobody gone in the top of the ninth inning, gets out of it clean. Rylan, hey, long time no see, man.
Welcome back. Yeah, we got you on the right camera today. Don't worry.
All right, sweet.
Yeah, your jersey's probably a little cold there.
No, it is. It's freezing out.
Show off the six-pack.
No. There's kids.
So you guys lead 5-1 in the driver's seat the whole way, and then a really spirited comeback from Everett, but a huge inning in the bottom of the ninth. Jake Daly, Alex Amata, and then you walking it off. I mean, 4 wins in 4 days here. Just what's working for this team right now?
Just getting hits. What? Just coming through in the right moments, getting people on, and then eventually scoring them. And I don't know, it's just working for us lately, which is awesome. So it's pretty special.
So you come up with the runner on third with nobody out. The infield is all the way in. Is there any change in your plate approach in that moment, knowing that the game-winning run is at third with nobody out?
I was just trying to hit the ball hard. I didn't really care where it went. But I don't know, it worked out, even though it wasn't the prettiest hit, but worked out in the end, which is most important. So, yeah.
And then you went 4 for 6 last night. You go 2 for 5 today, and you've been so consistent all summer, but this is a hot stretch. I mean, this weekend has been impressive. You're talking to us for the second day in a row for a reason. And just what has worked for you the whole summer, because you've been just so consistent day in and day out?
Yeah, I think I mentioned this like the first interview that we did, but trust in the process. Everything's going to work out eventually. And even if I had like a 0 for 7 like a couple days ago, you just got to keep on working, keep on doing the same things, and eventually it'll work out. So it's got to keep on trucking.
And last question, what does it feel like to get mobbed by your teammates and an ice bucket thrown on you?
I wasn't expecting it. It wasn't like the prettiest hit. I wish I barreled it, but I'm happy. I got soaked. It's freezing now, but in the end, I'm happy that we won. So, yeah.
Rylan Gullard, stick of the game for back-to-back days. He walks off the Everett Merchants, and the Seal Slingers win 6-5. Rylan, thank you so much. Always a great interview with you, and enjoy this one. Go get some high fives.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Rylan.
See ya.
Just another great game between these two teams. Rylan Gullard, the hero, and we've said it countless times already, but just if you had to pick one guy that you wanted to see put away a game like that, it's Rylan Gullard, just the best dude you will ever meet. And that's a big win for the Seal Slingers down the stretch this season. They've now won 4 straight. And Rylan Gullard, the Dick's RBI drive-in of the game. This is a windmill dunk of a choice.
Yeah, and it was a great discipline. We kind of talked to him about it in the interview, but he just said he wanted to hit it hard, and he said it wasn't great contact. I think that was great contact, right to the exact spot that he needed to, right up the middle, which is what we've seen from Gullard all summer long, and he walks it off, and yeah, windmill 360. DeAndre Jordan on Brandon Knight kind of slammed there for the Dick's RBI drive into the game.
He said his contact wasn't great, but it was good enough as the kids run the bases here at the Friar, and that puts a lid on just another great weekend of baseball here at Mel Olson Stadium. There's only one weekend left, starting Thursday, July 30th against Elevate Northwest. We've got 3 straight games against Elevate Northwest coming next weekend. $3 Thursday, and then another Friday game, and we wrap it all up on Saturday, August 1st. For Kyle Sweeney to my right, Connor Ryan, our director, and everyone in the broadcast booth that makes this broadcast as great as it is, I'm Angus Trangmo. Have a great night and have a great week. Seal Slingers take it over the Merchants. Rylan Gullard walks it off 6-5. Seal Slingers win.